Get this recording. So we're ready to rock. All right. Recap of what happened last time. I'll go through this recap, and then Joe, you have a flashback scene ready tonight?
Yep.
Cool. All right. I'll do this, then we'll hop over to you, let you do that, and then we'll probably just pick up with you and Quinn, and then hop around from there. So, all right, so let's see. You guys started out down in the sort of like the shock boxing arena. It's a section of the same area you had the pit racers in and stuff like that, but a closed off section with Coradal and Mithra in the ring. Everybody else around it, outside of it, sort of watching, betting on who's going to win and what's going to happen and other such things. You guys were told to come down here, keep an eye on Old Man Murray, who apparently had something to do with some sort of handoff or something happening that was going on. What do we have? We have Quinn and Malachi. You guys moved your way over next to Old Man Murray and were chatting with him as Mithra and Coradal were in the ring preparing to fight. The fight rang and they went back and forth a few times, Coradal missing, Mithra being able to take a few pop shots but not getting smushed right away. You guys did notice Cantos was coming your way, and after chatting with Murray, Cantos kind of moved past him. He saw something give a handoff. Quick little battle ensued as Malachi, you took off after Cantos to tackle him to see what exactly it is he had. Quinn, you were talking with Old Man Murray, trying to figure out what was going on. He insisted that Cantos was a part of this, and they were finally breaking out of this joint. And he had actually handed Cantos off the keys to one of the pit racers. A little bit back and forth. Malachi, you noticed that Cantos did indeed have a key to one of the pit racers. Quinn mentioned for you to let him go. And that is about the time that everything sort of went haywire. An earthquake started shaking this place. You had this weird, scaly, humanoid-like creatures started coming up out of the floor. They were soon followed by these skin blob-like things. Weird demon or devilish or some sort of critters. Started attacking everybody. Coradal, Mithra, he was able to get in one hit on you, but after that he sort of teamed up with you, throwing these things from the ring and pounding them down as you also defended yourself. From the corner came this crazed-looking dwarf. He also got into the fight a little bit, helping you guys out. Cleared the way for everybody to get up to where Mithra was. Coradal ended up getting crushed by a large boulder. His legs crushed underneath him, pretty much severed in half. But he gave you his last parting gift, Mithra, a small little black marble. And all in all, he didn't seem like he was such a bad guy. He just was misunderstood, clearly. You guys battled your way through, back and forth with Kavil was in there. Everybody was kind of fighting, trying to wait for something that Old Man Murray said Cantos would be along. You weren't exactly sure what that meant, but soon enough he came blasting out of some corridors in the distance atop the distillery tank, running people through, and he stopped long enough to pick up Old Man Murray. Everybody else sort of jumped on board with this thing the last moment and took off. Kavil ended up getting caught by a couple arrows and went off the back side of it and was lost into the crowd. And from there, Cantos took an arrow to the neck. Malachi, you threw him in the back, jumped in the driver's seat and floored it, smushing everybody in your way, humans, inmates, demons, devils, creatures, whatever the hell they might be. Pretty much all got smushed under the wheels of the distillery tank as you took off down one of the side tunnels. Old Man Murray had a small map that he led you on for a little bit of a distance. You did know that there was sentinels and guards coming pretty much from every which way towards you guys. Quinn insisted that she get her spell book and made everybody stop. Old Man Murray was not too thrilled with this, but he indeed stopped. Mad Krieg, you decided to help her since you knew your way around the prison, being one of the sentinels yourself. So you and her took off with Malachi, Murray, and Mithra waiting on the distillery tank. Those three eventually had to leave as the sentinels were coming up behind them, and they had waited far too long for you guys to return, and they took off down the tunnel. After a little ways, they emerged into this huge, large, cavernous, open area, but it was just flooded with goblins everywhere. Up on the other side, Quinn and Mad Krieg, you guys made your way up into what used to be the mining tunnels. everybody that was dead down there seemed to be more zombie-like or possessed or something that started coming alive, chasing you. You guys were able to get over to the elevator. Krieg, you went down. Quinn got you guys to the top, disguised herself as a sentinel, propped you up in the corner, sent the other sentinels that were up there back down, saying that something was going on. And Quinn, you made your way back, got your spell book, came all the way back, had a slight interference with a fellow, but got past him and made it to Krieg, trying to decide where to go. After that, you saw that the mining tunnels were pretty much just flooded with these things. So you called upon your old friend Leo to help you out. It's not quite sure exactly what he did or how he made it work, but you guys pretty much walked right out of this place, past guards who didn't even really pay any attention to you, inmates and the like. Got all the way out, up in through the cellar of a basement of what looked to be some sort of house or cabin or something. Up the stairwell, noticed a side room, which you recognized as the warden's office, Quinn. As we ended it with you guys, you were in his office taking a look around. You could see out this huge bay window on the front of his office that looked out over the fields and this cliffside into the distance, which was this weird glowing orangish look. There was a huge fire or something in the distance. It's going to be fairly late in the evening, probably 6, 7 at night, so it's sort of dusk looking. And there was a young voice behind you, a young boy, asking who you are and what you were doing there. I believe that's pretty much the crust of it. Anything anybody want to add that I missed? All right. So with that, we will toss that over to you, Joe. Why don't you go ahead and give us a flashback about Mad Creed, and then we will kick everything off.
All right. Thankfully, I did my homework and I'm prepared.
Ooh.
All right. So, Krieg, a handsome young dwarf, his red beard quite thick for a teenager, is awake late at night. This is his first time outside the stone halls, usually an uncomfortable moment for young dwarves. But Krieg for the first time felt completely whole beneath the wide open sky, even more so seeing the ocean for the first time. As he sat awake with the salty breeze from the coast and the sky full of stars, he watched as 2 figures started to creep into their camp. This caravan of dwarves was bringing precious stones and ore down from the mountains to Baldur's Gate. He watched as the 2 shadows moved through like ghosts, and he just looked on. He was quiet as the night watch's throat was cut. Barely a whisper was made as that man died. Krieg was frightened, but still made no move to help or even sound an alarm. No, he just watched that night. In the morning, he was still awake and still staring. Not the kind of catatonic stare you would expect from a traumatic event. This was a calm stare, relaxed even. From where Krieg sat, the pool of blood lined up perfectly with the ocean far below, and he imagined that he could just slip right in and swim out to sea. The entire shipment had been carried off that night, 1 box at a time, and Krieg did nothing. All the shouting from the rest of the dwarves that morning blurred into just one jumble. Why did you not do something? Why did you not do something? His father, though, never spoke a word, just looked at him with shame. So, it's just a short one to start. But
Beautiful.
That was great. I loved it.
As you lie there unconscious, Krieg, in that dream sort of state, you could feel your body being lifted and pulled around. It almost felt for a while like you had this out-of-body sort of experience. You could see yourself walking down the hall beside Quinn. You could even see yourself talking, chatting with her, and moving through these familiar halls of the prison into the areas you've never been, past the barracks that you'd slept in and the training halls, up further through those upper management, those white shirt fellows that were never very nice to you, past them into this basement dwelling. You yourself have heard about the prison, the ways in, the ways out, what it leads through, but this whole thing, you almost wonder if it's one of those dreams where you can watch yourself being played in your own thoughts or Very strange. But now you can feel the cold tile beneath your back, your head. It feels cool to the touch, refreshing almost. You can hear voices quite a distance. Maybe it's close. Might be. You think it might be Quinn, but you're not really sure. Somebody else. And Quinn, as you step into this warden's office, this whole while Leo had possessed Mad Krieg's form, taken control of it, and led you out of this place. But as you enter the office of the warden, you've been here before, you recognize his beautiful oaken desk, one that would work perfect in this study if you had one. The books that line the walls, the strange trinkets and bottles and orbs that line the shelves. The magic in this room radiates quite a bit, but you can feel something's off. There's no way the warden would leave all of these artifacts and these fun little toys about without being well protected. You can sense that this room definitely has some sort of casting, some sort of protection from just somebody walking in and stealing things and walking out. Sort of tickles the back of your neck. You can feel the power at your fingertips. And you'll see beside you Mad Krieg's form just collapse onto the floor, still bleeding out here and there. He looks stable, and he's at least breathing, but he's certainly unconscious as he lies at your feet. In front of you, this huge bay window, easily 10 feet across and just as high, peers out into the distance. You've probably done enough traveling around. You can recognize it. You can see the Sword Coast off to the right of this window, the ocean that spreads out beyond. And it looks like you're on some sort of cliffside overlooking a valley in the distance. Yeah. If you look over and move by the window, glance down, it's hard to say how far off the ground you are, but you think probably at least 200-300 feet above. Almost like this room is built right into the side of a cliff. And in the distance, the sun is already set, so it has a bluish gray sort of light to the sky. But off to, I guess it would be the south from where you're looking, and a little bit to the west, the southwest, there's this weird orange glow that seems to be just kind of hovering there in the distance. It's like what you would expect if an entire city was on flames, and the glow that it would give off. But it's just beyond the hills that you can't see. You'll hear soft footsteps behind you. Turn. See a young boy, a very pale-skinned, blue eyes, just almost platinum, blonde, white hair. You guess maybe 9 years old, 10 at best. He looks at you. What? Who are you? You know, my father wouldn't like you here. He'll take a few steps in, looking around. You see his fingers twitching by his side. He's dressed quite nice in very fancy silks. A pair of slacks, a purple vest that comes around him with a small little brook in the corner, showing the family crest. What do you do?
Thinking that I was getting escorted out, I take in the warden's office, and a panic kind of comes across my face as I turn around and see the body of Mad Krieg crumple, realizing Leo's gone. I look around, seeing the kid kind of jump for a moment, and then say, in a trying to remain calm voice, we're guards, sentinels here. There's been an accident in the prison, and this sentinel has been injured. Does your dad have any first aid of any kind?
Looks at you, looks at Mad Krieg on the ground. Says, no, I know a sentinel when I see him. The dwarf I've seen before, yes. I remember him. But you, I don't remember you. What is your name, sentinel?
My name is Margaret.
Margaret. Well, my father would not like you here, you know. He'll take a few steps in, his hands behind his back. And you get this sense that he's clearly judging you as he looks you up and down a few times, looks at Krieg on the floor. What's he gonna do with his body?
What do you mean? We need to help him. He's gonna die. I'll drop down to my knees to where Mad Krieg is and say, hurry, give me something to help. You must have something around this office.
He'll walk a few feet over, stand sort of on the opposite side of Krieg, looking down. Even with you kneeling down, Quinn, you're about eye level with this kid. He's quite small. You look up and you just see this smile on his face as he's looking at you. Looks at your clothes. Small grins start to form on the corner of his lips. You want to know, Sentinel? Who are you? Does that give you, well, apparently 2 chances since you lied the first time? You know, I don't like liars, bullies, people who take advantage of me. Would you like your friend to be fixed?
Yeah, obviously I'd like him to be fixed.
Well, why don't you tell me your real name then, Margaret? I mean, what is there in a name? My mama said that it's like the eyes of a person. It's attached to their soul.
Give him like a creeped out look, like, oh, you are creepy. What the hell's wrong with you? Are you gonna help me or not?
Says, well, I don't do things for free. You don't get to the top without stepping on a few fingers and toes, a few heads now and then. And he'll step over. You can hear the crunch as he steps on Krieg's fingers and starts to lower himself down. Your friend, he's awfully wounded. It'd be a shame for him to bleed out just because you don't want to tell me who you are.
Okay, insight check this guy, and what I'm looking for is, I obviously don't think he's a normal kid, but do I get the sense that I can put him down, or does he seem to be way more powerful than a little kid?
Okay, yeah, give it a shot.
Because I feel like a kid I could just like punch and he'd be unconscious. Not that great. 10.
Look at him. Man, everything about him shows this little kid. You don't really recognize any magic that's going about him. This power in the room seems to come from everywhere else, not him. Really, on all accounts, besides being creepy, he does not seem anything fancy.
Yeah.
Well, look at this cut here on the side of his. You know, that could get infected very quickly. And, I believe if you dig deep enough here in this cut along his stomach, you might be able to feel a spleen, a gallbladder or something.
All right, I'm gonna say.
He says, well, why don't you let me fix your friends? It's just a simple brushing of the shoulders, make him smile a little. You know, there's nothing like having good thoughts when you're unconscious. That is why the dead always smile when they lie there. Good thoughts, good thoughts.
Like mumble under my breath, like what the fuck, and say, what are you gonna do to him? Can you help him or not? Do you have any potions around here? I thought you said when I walked in last session that I seen like some vials or something.
There's definitely vials and stuff about. Some kid will look around. Oh, there's plenty of things here, but you don't want to touch that. No. Father would break your fingers and your ribs if you touched that. Have you ever heard of the bloody eagle? It's just a horrible, horrible thing. Saw it once. That was what happened to the last fellow who touched his things. Says, no, I can help your friend. Just a simple brush on the shoulders. Make him smile. It'll only take a moment. Just let me know your name. And we can be all good again. We can be friends.
Your name first. Who are you? You're not some little kid, I can tell.
Oh, yes. Yes, I do a lot of reading, Spend a lot of time alone. It's amazing the things you learn. The things you learn to deal with when you're by yourself all the time. My name is Stephen.
Stephen, eh? Well, I'm Quinn.
Yeah, it sounds much better. Much better. Quinn.
Are you going to help my friend or not?
Yes.
I'm going to try to position myself behind him and behind my back, readying a cantrip to just blast this little kid in the face.
Give me a perception check.
Yeah. A 20, not natural.
Yes. Yeah, you move around. This kid reaches down, puts one hand on the side of Krieg's face, the other one over top of his eyes. And lift Krieg's eyes open. Says, he's still alive. This won't be hard at all. He brushes off Krieg's shoulders. He places one hand on his chest and the other hand on Krieg's forehead. You can see it starts quite slightly, sort of up on his shoulders. This bluish-colored light, just a small spark. It trickles down his arms, underneath his vestments to his fingers. And Krieg, why don't you give me a 2d6 roll?
All right. Oh, 6.
Please. So go ahead and heal yourself 6 hit points, Krieg. And this young boy will move his hands back. All the while as you watch this, Quinn, you get quite invested in what this kid is doing, but at that last second, you hear the creak of the floorboard behind you, the sound of a heavy foot. And you'll turn just in time to see this large woman, easily twice your size, if not more. She wears this blue sort of maid's dress that hangs down around her huge form. She's covered in flour and bits and pieces of dough. In one hand is this rolling pin that comes swinging around towards your head. With a 15, does that hit?
Yep.
You will hear the blinding flash of white in your eyes, the crushing against the side of your head as this thing comes smashing down. Only 1 point of damage. But
Doesn't matter, I'm unconscious.
It throws you to the side, and you hear the kid scream. He's like, "No, my friend!" Krieg, you will wake up just in time to see this kid stand up and just let out this ear-piercing scream as Quinn goes down.
All right, I think Krieg, for half a moment, watching the blow to the, into the side of his head, kind of has a flashback and reaches up to the side of his own head for a moment, the side with the blown-out eye, and then kind of snaps to. What bloody hell is going on up here? Where the fuck are we?
Beside you, this kid will look over at you for a second, and then he just dives forward on top of Quinn. And you two will see Krieg, this bluish light, start just erupting around this kid's shoulders, going down his arms, as he's quickly just trying to hold the side of Quinn's head. Go ahead and give me a 2d6 roll, Quinn.
4.
Heal yourself 4 hit points. As you come to, this kid looks absolutely freaking out as he's holding the side of your head and trying to stop the blow of blood coming down the side from your ear. And he looks over, he's like, "You weren't supposed to do that. These were my friends." You see this huge woman look around. Is Says, they ain't supposed to be here. You know that, Stephen. You're not supposed to bring your friends into this. And she grabs a hold of this kid and turns to start dragging him out of the room. On the other side of the screen, the camera will pan over. It shows the distillery tank, this huge cavern that you're in. Up above near the ceiling, there's this purplish lines, almost like veins that crawl across the ceiling that give this place a little bit of light, enough to see a good 15 to 20 feet in front of you as it sort of glows all around you. Mushrooms. Definitely mushrooms. Mithra, you would have seen these in your time in the drow strongholds and cities. Often just simple iridescent mushrooms that glow in the dark, often give off a bit of light. A lot of people don't use them for light per se, but they give off a little bit for those that have enough dark vision or shadow sight to see around. And Malachi, you're in the driver's seat. Beside you, old man Murray. He's looking at this map he has in his hands, and he looks up. At least 100 goblins, if not more, are all around you. As you come into this cavern, Murray will sort of tap your shoulder, say, slow down, slow down. All of these goblins, almost at once, turn, looking in your directions as you emerge from this tunnel, come skidding out into this cavern. Do you actually slow down a little bit or not?
No, I'm going to look at old man Murray, and my eyes are going to be pitch black. Purely, the whites are gone, and the rage has welled up inside of Malachi, and be like, fucking bitch, how'd you get her book, huh? And I'm going to ram as many goblins as I can with the tank.
Go ahead and give me 1d20 roll.
A 17 natural.
Beautiful. These goblins scurry like cockroaches in a lit kitchen, just scattering everywhere as you plow into this. 17 of them, at least, you figure, maybe more, crushed under the wheels. It's like hitting miniature speed bumps. You can see the splatter of gore spraying out the back end of this thing, the wheels as they grind through the dirt, the stone, the goblins. And Murray will start smacking your shoulder. He says, I don't know where we need to go from here. You need to slow down. Up in the distance, you can see there's an array of tunnels in different directions. He's like, you got to hold on a minute. We got to figure out where to go. Just keep us circling.
She's going to find an easier way out. She's going to show up. She's going to be a fucking hero.
So just give me a minute. There will be this flash of...
Sideswipe goblins as I'm doing my rounds.
Taking out as many as you can. They just keep scattering everywhere. You can hear their screams. You feel a few thunks into the side of this thing. As you're on the back with their arrows are plucking this thing in the, coming from the darkness and coming from around. A couple spears thud into the side of it. And up above, there will be this flash of white, maybe 30 feet up along one wall. Almost like a miniature sun. It glows a little bit lighter, a little bit brighter. And there's a moment where everybody looks over, and you can see this fat goblin, probably 2 or 3 times the size of the typical normal little runts that run around here, like those that have been lodged in your wheel wells and underneath your tires. And he pulls himself up from what looks to be some sort of makeshift old rocking chair that has been reinforced to support his bulk. And he looks down. He says, Horde! Stop where you are. And his voice booms out as he says this. You can feel the waves. You can smell the stench of his breath, like rotting mushrooms and fetid meat, as it washes over the distillery tank. And your vehicle's going to stall for a moment. Slows to a bit of a stop. And as you look at this fat goblin up on this loft, looking at you, Malachi, you notice that it's not so much the vehicle has stopped, as your foot itself seems to have come off the gas. You look at him, it's almost a moment of awe. You can see he wears old, tattered robes, looked like they were quite nice finery at one time, but he's simply kind of slapped them on his huge, fat, bulky form. On his hair is this blonde-colored wig that hangs down around his shoulders, and he holds a staff in one hand. Do you wish to leave this cavern? And he will pull himself up. The chair sticks to his ass for a moment as he does. He shoves it back off behind him, getting it off one of his cheeks. Takes a few steps forward. You can see he reaches up his staff and hits the wall beside him. There's this grinding sound. And you see the heavy iron, steel, rusted bars slam down over this tunnel into the distance. A few rocks and rubble fall down around it. Same thing happens on a second, third, and fourth tunnel. He says, well, do you wish to leave this cavern? Speak up.
Well, I don't want to stay here.
I bet you she didn't have to deal with any fucking goblins. Malachi going to use Eldritch Blast, and he's going to blast the goblin in the face.
Let's go ahead and give an attack roll. Or whatever it is. I'm not sure if it's a save or... I think it's attack roll.
It's an attack roll.
Go for it.
Oh, that's a 10.
This blast goes out, and it'll race off into the distance. You quickly see he just waves this staff in front of him. It hits some sort of shield. Sort of glows around him in this orb. He says, I didn't ask if you wanted to shoot me. I asked if you want to leave this cavern.
Of course I want to fucking leave!
Excellent. Then I have a deal for you. If we win, we get to keep that vehicle. If you win, you get to leave. Spread! Spread! He waves his hands out, and you see all the goblins just quickly scatter all off to the outer walls.
Malachi jumps down from the distillery tank, starts walking with his arms held up in the air. He's like, let's fucking go! I'm fucking ready! I'm gonna fuck kill you all!
He'll step forward from this little landing up above. Look at this fool walking. Goblin engineers, assemble! And you see a couple goblins run forward a little bit, and they drop down into these little tunnels, these little holes in the ground. The ground moves, it shakes a little bit. And as you walk out from your vehicle, you can see Murray behind you screaming, Malachi, Mithra. You see something in the distance. It looks like an arm, and it lifts up off the ground. The whole ground shakes, and it comes up and smashes down, followed by a second, a third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth is this huge, bloated form of a spider. Looks to be cobbled together from old pieces of steel, wood, gears, scythes, pretty much whatever they could find, along with the undead husk, the discarded shell of an old, rotted spider, just its chitinous body left. You can see goblins hanging out from the inside of it, hanging off the side of it, and the whole huge bloated thing lifts itself up off the ground. And if you look over onto the Facebook chat, I will give you a picture of it even.
Just slowly see Malachi turn around, looks up to old man Murray, and his jaw drops. And he just starts sauntering slowly and shuffles quickly over to the stick and hops right back up on into the chair.
This thing's about twice the size of the distillery tank. You see at least a dozen goblins, if not more, scurrying about on the inside of it. He says, well then, let's have a go. And he saunters back and flaps back into this huge reinforced rocking chair, rolling back and forth along the whole rim of this cavern. This goblins have gathered, some of them hanging off the wall, some of them pushed back behind the rubble as the spider starts to scurry forward. As it pulls itself up out of the ground, You see debris, rock, dirt everywhere just explode around it as it pulls it. Basically like a trapdoor spider comes up out of the ground in a fury. You're in the vehicle, so give me a dexterity saving throw with the vehicle's stats, Malachi, as you throw this thing into gear and start to go.
Okay. What was it you were looking for again, sorry, man?
Dexterity saving throw with the vehicle.
That's a 21.
Beautiful. So you see all this rubble just smashing down around you guys. I will let you keep track of the distillery tank's stats and everything, but it's at full health and everything. You see all this rubble smashing down. You can drive in between it. As you start to circle around in this cavern, Malachi, you can see that all the goblins have pulled themselves up on a ledge around the outside, so you can get a few here and there and smash a couple against the walls, hit a couple underneath the tires. But there's 4 tunnels that lead off out of this little arena-like area, including the one that you came from. All of them have been blocked off by heavy steel bars and rubble, almost like a metal miniature cave-in around each of them. And Murray will look around and says, give me just a moment to tell us what one we need. Maybe we can ram through it. And with that, over to Quinn and Krieg. You see this large woman grab a hold of this kid, turn and get to leave. And behind her, a guard will enter, looking around. And we will start initiative.
Nice.
So, right beside you, Quinn, you hear this scream that's coming. Sounds like it's coming from the other side of the wall, not where the guard came in through the doorway, but to the wall to your right. And be like, what the hell? No, what? No. And all of a sudden, you hear the smash as the dead guard gets flung through the wall, smashing through the drywall, the wood, and comes smashing at your feet. He looks completely mauled by some sort of wild animal or something. As you look down at this dead guard hit your feet. Krieg, you are up. The woman is dragging the kid out from this, basically by his shoulder, just dragging him out. Her bloody rolling pin in one hand. Behind her, this guard will come rushing into the room. Looks at this dead guard at your feet, this hole in the wall. You can see his blade's already out. He's just basically coming for you guys now. He's like, we won't have any of this. We got to squanch him now.
That's right. We do have to squash him. Where the fuck are they? Nobody breaks into the walls in the warden's house. I'm going to draw my sword and turn around and look the direction he's looking. I know he's actually looking at me.
Yeah, he'll be looking at you. He looks at Quinn. He probably would think you're with her. So, yeah, I'm going to say that. So, yeah, he would look at you for a moment, then basically just going for Quinn.
Hey, that's my charge right there. If you're going to go and do something to that wee lassie, you and me are going to have a fucking problem.
Well, I've killed enough dwarves anyway. Very well, you fucking traitor.
Okay. As soon as he calls traitor, I'm taking a swing. Shield comes up, that longsword's coming in at him.
Because he's just a basic sentinel like yourself, nothing odd.
Just a regular dude.
Just a regular dude.
What is my attack odds? Right, plus 5 with the longsword. It's gonna be a total 19. I'll
That's
take
a
that
hit.
for a swing. All right, that's gonna be for 9 damage.
Oh, Jesus. So as this comes in, you can see it pretty much tears one arm nearly from it, and he steps back, falling back to one knee, looking at this almost severed arm, his eyes bulging out in horror. Anything else?
I told you to fuck off. That's it.
And with that, you can see 2 more guards come through this hole that's been blown through the wall, but they're not coming in the room towards you. They're actually backstepping as they're coming from the room beyond. It looks like some sort of eating area, a den or kitchen, that type area. As they're quickly coming back, one of them is going to have a huge wall-like shield, and he's just completely full plate armor. The other one you can see has a huge bastard sword that he's holding in front of him. Krieg, you guys would you would recognize these guys. They're sort of like the upper level of the guards of stuff. One is a shield. They're called shield maidens, usually for defensive purposes and riot control. And the other one's more of just, they're called enforcers, just brute kill type of people. But they're both backing away quickly. And you can see beyond that, through the dust and the bits of cloud, it's a darker room beyond as well. But there's another form coming at them quickly, sort of crouched down a little bit, almost in a full run. And these two are just going to back right into the room that you are in. Mithra, you are on the back of the distillery tank. As Malachi drives sort of around, you can see this huge spider in front of you pulling itself out of the ground. It'll leap up a good 10, 15 feet before smashing down into the ground. You can see swords and jagged bits of metal make up its legs. Its body, mostly that of an old, bloated, dead husk of a spider. You're on the back of the distillery tank. Cantos at your feet, still unconscious. What do you do?
I'm going to look around and realize that no one's really paying attention to me. And will it cost me a whole action to just, can I look down and see like how dire of a condition, sorry, what is our new friend's name?
Cantos.
Yes. Can I,
Nope.
or is that like, will that be my whole turn?
Nope, you can glance down. He had an arrow in his neck. He was stabilized. Murray stabilized him. So he's still breathing. He's just unconscious. Without some sort of healing or something to get him up, he's not capable of doing much.
Okay. Well, seeing as he's alive and breathing, I'm going to run over to the harpoon flinger and aim it at the spider. Sorry, I'm just kind of looking here to see how it works real quick. Ooh, cool. Releases a pressurized blast of steam that launches a harpoon at... Oh, it says at any vehicle within range. Can I aim it at the spider instead?
Yep.
Cool.
Technically, it is a vehicle. So, and you would use the stats that is on the distillery tank. So the +7 to hit, range 120, that little block right there.
Oh, oops, I rolled the wrong... Okay, sorry, do I roll a d20?
Yep, +7.
All right, 12 plus 7? Oh, okay, there. That sounds good.
So 19, right on the money. Go ahead and roll damage.
I'm going to aim right between the eyes. 2d8 plus 2. So 5, well, 3 plus 2, and 1 plus 2. Sorry, guys.
1 plus 2 is 3, got it. So yeah, you'll see this heavy, jagged chunk of metal just blast into in between the mandibles a little bit. You'll see a couple of goblins go flying out the back of this thing, these huge holes in their chests as they crumple over the side of the goblin, spatting on the ground next to it. Anything else on your turn?
Nope, that's it. Just gonna sigh with relief that spider's gone. I do not like spiders.
Oh, the spider's still there. Just a couple goblins are knocked off of it.
Well, I'm glad he's a little incapacitated.
And with that, this goblin spider, you see it shanks back a few feet. Its head swivels back and forth for a moment, and you see this heavy, jagged piece of metal fall from it, clatter and onto the ground. And then it scurries forward, all 8. No. What do I want to do? It's going to try to web. So I need a +7. That would be a nat 20. Look at that. Jeez. So as you take this thing, you start circling around it a bit, Malachi, you'll all of a sudden feel the whole vehicle kind of jerk a little bit. Behind you, this spider scurries forward, and you see this blast of this gray-like material swivel out from its abdomen, smashes into the back of the distillery tank. As you're back there, Mithra, you can see that it's sort of a reverse grapnel, this 4-pronged thing hooked to this metal wire that's connected to the spider, and it slams into the back of the tank, and you see it go tall as the whole vehicle comes to a stop. Give me a strength check, Malachi, with the vehicle.
Well, let me pull up the vehicle sheet really quick. This isn't going to be good without it. It's an 11.
So what's 15 total? So yeah, you feel the whole vehicle just come to a sudden stop. You can feel the tires spinning, and it starts to slowly pull back. Sort of starts pulling you in, and with that, it gives a sudden yank as it lifts its abdomen back, and the whole spider will rear back on its two back legs, the other or four back legs, the other four coming up as it pulls you back, and you can feel the whole vehicle almost get lifted off the ground as it yanks you back. And with that, its four legs will come down, smashing in front of the vehicle and on its 2d8. I need dice.
Can I scream at Malachi? Cut the rope.
Let's see, 2d8, 12, 13, 14, 17 points of damage that the vehicle is going to take. There's four of these huge spider legs just smash into the different sides of it, one of it driving right through the front end of it and into the ground. And with that, it'll rip its legs back and start to scurry back away from you again. With that, Quinn, you are up. You'll be laying on the ground. You can, just as this young boy brought you back, you can feel the healing powers that he put into you, but they feel sinister. You feel a little sick to your stomach. But you'll see him getting dragged away by this fat woman in a gown and dirty, now bloody, flour-covered rolling pin. This guard comes smashing through the wall. These other two backing in.
Going to be frantically looking around the room, trying to figure out what to do, and whispering under my breath, I'm not sure how the fuck this is supposed to help me. Leo, you fucker. How am I ever going to fucking finish the deal with this bullshit? And then I'm just going to look around the room and see, like, why, I guess, investigate? Is there a reason he brought me here?
Yeah, go ahead and give me an investigation roll.
12?
Yeah, you look around, it doesn't really look like anything different, or, there seems to be no clues that you can spot besides you're in the warden's office, sort of overlooking. I mean, there's nothing that stands out.
All right, cool. I'm gonna whisper under my breath, fucking devils. Bullshit. And then stand behind something expensive, like maybe the desk or something, and then ready my hand with some icy frost as ice begins to build up on my hand, and the temperature around it begins to just kind of form this mist, this cool mist. I'm going to ready a ray of frost as I'm muttering my words of arcane power, and the first guy that becomes a clear shot, I guess I'm going to blast.
All right. Let's see. Yeah, you'll see these two guards backing in. You'll notice that something is in the other room coming towards them, but they're basically just backing into the room through that hole that was blasted in the wall. The other guard is definitely, well, he was coming at you. You'd see Krieg jump out, nearly severing this guy's arm and digging his blade right into his stomach. As he backs off, this guy's going to fall down to one knee, just bleeding out everywhere, but he's alive. But the other two have their back turned toward you at the moment.
Back turned to me. They're looking away?
Yeah, as they're looking through the hole that was just blasted in the wall that they backed through.
So are they leaving the room? Sorry, am I misunderstanding? Or
no, the room that you're in, they're backpedaling into the room through the hole that was in front. Like they're watching that figure that's on the other side of that wall coming towards them.
Okay. Sorry, I'm a bit confused.
Do you know what I mean or no?
Yeah, I kind of get it. So is Krieg engaged though, or no? He's not engaged.
Well, not really. He was, but he pretty much killed this guy in one hit, so he's not so much engaged at the moment.
Yeah.
So basically, the wall that you're looking towards would be the doorway where this woman is dragging the kid out. To your right is where this other dead guard was thrown through the wall. He's now on the ground dead. But through that hole in the wall, two other guards are backpedaling through it as another form's coming at them quickly.
Okay, another form. So I'm not going to get their attention just yet. I'm going to look at the kid, actually. Something finally comes to me in this situation. His name is Steven. I think about that name, but that name doesn't fit. And then I focus on him. I make eye contact with him, and I begin to mutter more words, kind of concentrating over the ray of frost that I have ready, and I'm going to kind of the same thing. The senses between me and him go mute. It's just blackness, and then the only thing that is me and him looking at each other, and I'm going to whisper these words and try to extract his true name. He needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
What is his wisdom?
I don't fucking know. I'm desperate.
12.
12 is a fail, so he tells me his true name. And he is charmed by me, basically. He is forced to do so, unless I guess he's immune to charm.
All right. Well, his true name is Stephen, indeed.
All right. I imagine there's like some kind of like arcane inflection on it, though. That's like maybe there's a silent fucking double V or something like that. And
Stiffen.
I will speak this true name of his and just basically try to exhume this magic power of his name over him and tell him to, I guess, help us, or...
Yeah, he'll quickly turn this old woman that has a hold of his arms, just dragging him out. He puts his hands on hers, and then you can just see him bite down through her this dress, the sleeve over her her arm, bites down on it and just starts biting her, kicking at her, trying to get her off. As she lets go and lets out a bit of a scream, you can see she reaches out to try and backhand him or get back a hold of him or something, but he's just like your typical little kid throwing an absolute tantrum, biting, kicking at her shins, and doing what he can to get away from her to run back into the room. Anything else?
I guess with my true action, then I will... Shit, I actually can't do this, so I won't do that yet. I will just ready my... because that was a bonus action to extract name, so I'll just ready my Ray of Frost, and if there becomes like I don't want to get the guards' attention on me unless like I absolutely have to, or if Krieg gets into like more trouble. If he starts fighting, then I'll blast off a Ray of Frost, and then I'll just shout out to Craig like, "What are we doing? What's the play? You said you know the place, kind of, don't you?"
Well, I've never seen the front door, but that would be where I want to go.
I don't know if the front door is the way we're getting out of here with the way things are.
Well, the window's a long fucking way down.
A very long way down.
That's all I got.
With that, it swaps back over to Malachi behind the wheel of the distillery tank. As you once again start pulling away, break this cable, this cord. As it yanks its back, it breaks free from the back of the distillery tank, giving you the freedom to move once again. But this spider is sort of hovering over top of you, and then it quickly starts skittering back as you are able to move. What do you do?
Malachi, in a whole different voice now, will be kind of repeating to himself, "Just had to get her book. Just had to go get her book." And his demeanor is completely changed. It's more of a fear, holy shit, what the hell is this thing attitude than a angry, fuck my sister can attitude. And he'll turn his head and put his arm behind him. "Had to get her book, huh?" And he'll look at the rear and he'll put his foot on the gas and he'll sideswipe in reverse to take out the 4 right legs of the spider to see if he can knock it prone.
Try to ram it?
No, I'm going to sideswipe. I'm going to one vehicle at close range ahead, or I'm going to imagine behind since I'm going reverse.
Yep.
Strength
Gotcha.
Strength modifier contested by target vehicle's dex or strength mod.
Do you want to know my number, or you want to roll first?
Oh, I got a nat 20 plus 6, so...
I got a 15 plus 4, so I got a 19, so you got me.
Woo! Okay, so success vehicle pushed into adjacent zone and passengers must succeed on DC 10 strength check or fall prone.
All right. You're basically smashing into this thing still, so go ahead and do 4d10 for bludgeoning damage.
I'm not going to argue with you, because I kind of like it. Ooh, there's 8. 0. 6. I guess that's 10. Is that 10 or is that a 0?
0 would be 10. Yep.
All right, so that's 18, 16, 24, and another 9. Holy crap, that's sweet rolls. 24 is 33.
33, damn. So yeah, he'll smash into these back legs. You can see him crumple, twist a little bit as this thing goes down. With that, you can see that this front claws, the front legs of this thing, just quickly reach out, smashing around the side of the vehicle. It's going to use its reaction. There's a couple of these legs come into the side of it, one on each side, two on the other side into this tank. And the whole thing lurches forward a little bit. And you see these huge mandibles come down over top of you, Mithra, and just smash into the back of this tank. What's it do? Today, 22 points of damage to the distillery tank. As the legs puncture the side of it, these mandibles come in. They just scrape past you, Mithra, and slam down into the front of you, into this harpoon flinger into the side, before it rips free. And once again, the thing starts skittering back the best it can to get away from the tires, the wheels of this vehicle to smash into it. Anything else, Malachi?
As I'm doing all this, what happened to Mithra's first harpoon? Are these harpoons, do they have ropes attached to them?
They do not, but you certainly could. There's ropes on the vehicle, but you could, yes.
I'm just going to yell at Mithra, tie a rope to one of those harpoons. See if you can get it to stick. Maybe we can keep this thing on its back. Fucking buck, huh?
I'm going to smile because I think that's a wonderful idea.
Yeah, right. And with that, Murray is up. And he looks around as you sort of take off again a little bit. And he's going to pull himself out of the seat and reach over, grabs a hold of this rope that's behind him, and tosses it to you, Mithra. Go ahead and tie it on the end of there, lass. Hurry up, hurry up. And with that, he looks at you. Malachi says, you want me to tie it to the vehicle, yeah?
I think so.
You're driving. And yeah, he will tie the other end of this rope to the front of the vehicle wherever there's some sort of anchor point, tossing you the other end, Mithra, to tie up. So he'll use his turn so that you don't have to try and tie it, Mithra. You can just load it and launch it.
All right.
And with that, the nanny is upstairs. You see this old woman. Look at this kid. She reaches out trying to swat him off and pulls her arm back. You can see he's left quite a bite onto her forearm as he turns and just runs into the room, running towards you, Quinn. He'll leap up onto the desk and sort of belly slide across the side of it, coming down on the other side, hiding beside you. He says, I think I made her mad, Quinn. Look at that lady. Look at that fat bitch. She's coming. She's coming. You'll see this.
She looks like a bitch anyways. And then I'll pop up and put my hand at her and say, listen, bitch, nanny duty's over. I'm taking over.
And with that, she'll come run. Yeah, she's running right towards this kid, this dough roller, whatever the hell, rolling pin in the hand. Some of your blood's still caked to the side of it with flour.
Can I blast her?
You sure
my
can.
Ready to action. All right. Take this, nanny daycare. Oh my god, my rolls is so bad. Do I want to spend my inspiration? Fuck it. Is she wearing any armor or anything?
No, just her dress.
All right, 13 to hit. I'm gonna risk it.
That's a hit.
Yeah. All right. 7 damage of icy frost burst from my hand into her hand in rolling pin.
You see her blast back a few steps, just cased in ice. This horrid, feared look on her face. 7 points?
Yeah.
Yep, she is still up. But yeah, she'll kind of slip forward, smashes onto the ground. The whole room will shake just a little bit as she slams to the ground. And with that is the end of round 1. Ooh, look at that.
Am I still in my Sentinel disguise? Because it says it lasts for an hour and it's not concentration, so I don't even know if it would have dropped.
Yeah, you would still be in that. It didn't take that. It only took you guys about 10-15 minutes to get up through, and then you also had it for about 10. So yeah, it's maybe a half hour you've had it.
Awesome.
At best. All right. Round 2. So as you blast this lady, Quinn, you can see these 2 guards come up, back right up to the desk where you're at. And on the other side of this blown out hole in the wall, it's roughly man-sized, considering the guard was thrown through it. On the other side, the dust clears a little bit, and you see a figure coming forward. It's hunched over a little bit. And as the sunlight from behind you glares through, you can see it start to form. And I will put a picture of it over into the chat. You see A man, maybe. Start to come forward. He's covered in this thick fur. Tattoos run up and down his arms. This dirty leather vest around his shoulders. Dirty pants. Inmate pants. You've seen those tattoos before, Quinn. And he runs forward, almost feral, like almost down on all four. And he comes up and he looks over. Says, Quinn, kick him in the nuts, kick him in the nuts. And he's going to run in as he leaps forward towards these two guards. And with that, down into the tunnels where you can see the distillery tank as it starts to circle around. Mithra, you're going to hear this thump, 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 thump. As you look over, you see, let's see, how many? 3 arrows plunk into the side of the distillery tank. Every one of them is covered in this thick patch of tar that splatters across it and erupts into flames. Just 3 flames break out on the back of the distillery tank. Up first is the enforcer, this large, brutish guard upstairs with Quinn. He's going to rush forward, swinging his blade at this mongrelly-looking man. Lays into him, cutting a huge gash across the center of his chest. It opens up, but it sort of heals over almost at the same time that it's slicing through. And you see this mongrelly-looking man stop for a minute, looks down, looks back up at this enforcer, this crooked, fanged smile on his face. You shouldn't have done that, man. And with that... Murray is up. He is going to use his action to keep a watch on the road for you, Malachi. So on your next roll, whether any sort of save or attack or whatever it is on your end, Malachi, you have advantage. And then the goblin spider is up. Let's see what's going to do. You'll see it skitter back, starts to crawl up the side of the wall, up overhead, and you see it sort of disappear into the shadows a little bit, and then its form reappears as it leaps off the side of the wall towards you guys. It will smash down into the ground. Give me a dex saving throw. You're going to have advantage with it, Malachi, using a vehicle, dexterity. Murray will go over. He's like, it's going to get us. Hurry up, turn here.
That is 21.
Nice. As you can see, he reaches almost over and sort of shoves your hand a little bit to turn to the left as this thing slams down beside you. Rubble splatters everywhere. You feel just barely grazes the side of the distillery tank, one of these bladed feet, but it does not hit you. Let's see if it can recharge. And then with that, it'll start to scurry away once again into the darkness, trying to get up the side of a wall and out of reach of you. Malachi, you are up.
So the distillery tank, the spider is like crawling up the wall again?
Yep, it's reaching, scurrying away. It can't take its full move because it did already, but it looks like it's running towards the wall to get up on the wall again.
Okay, let me just check the move speed on this thing again. Okay, so Malachi is going to throw this thing in drive. Try to spin it on a dime, like slam his foot on the gas and hold the brake a little bit so the front's not moving and spin the back end around. He's going to point it right at the spider and he's going to small grin on his face as he's pointing to ram the spider, but as he's doing it, he's also casting his cantrip Eldritch Blast and he's aiming for one of the front legs because with his Eldritch Blast, he actually has it upgraded to the point where he can actually force push something by 10 feet with it. So as the 5-pointed star erupts from Malachi's hand, beams across the room, smashes the spider's front leg. Hopefully it'll get him a little off balance for the ram with the distillery tank. Nice.
All right, let's see. If you do, a target must make a dex save. So let's see. I'll give him disadvantage on the dex save. That would be a fail regardless. So yeah, you can see that his front leg, as it starts to scurry out, gets blasted by your Eldritch Blast. It doesn't look like it does much damage, but it kind of kicks it out to the side a little bit, so it drops down. It quickly gets back up, starts to scurry away, but not before you smash into the front of it.
Yeah, and Malachi is just laughing the whole time. Just giddy at the fact that this thing even felt any pain. That's 19 damage.
19. see one of these legs bust free, and the whole thing will drop for a second. It starts to lift itself back up. Inside of it, you can see all these goblins scurrying about, pulling levers, throwing water buckets on small flames that have broken out, and cranking wheels.
I can use as much movement speed as I have left to try to back away from the spider too before we're done.
Nice. And yeah, as you throw that in and start to back away, you can see this thing scurries forward, so I will use its reaction. Once again, you see these legs come forward, just slamming down into the back of the discular tank. You can feel it start to get dragged backwards a little bit, and then these huge mandibles once again come smashing down onto the tank. Ooh, 8, 15 points of damage on the disculary tank. And before it starts to lift itself back up, and the tires of the tank once again drop to the ground, and you start taking off into the distance. Quinn, you are up. As you stand in this room, these two guards, pretty much their back right up to you. They're to the desk that you're behind, this young boy beside you. You recognize Coyote, sort of. He doesn't quite look like you would expect, but it's definitely him. You're pretty sure it's him. Same tattoos.
But he's like wolfed out right now.
Yes.
I'm just going to be like, holy fucking shit, Coyote, is that you?
Says, oh, Quinn! I'll hold him. You kick him in the nuts just like we had planned. I've been brainstorming this for all day, Quinn. I was down in the dungeons in Solitaire, and I was thinking about this.
I'm just going to be like, yeah, I'm excited now. Now's the plan. Activate the plan. And then a moment of silence, and I'll just like a smile come across my face. I'm going to extract Coyote's true name, which if he's a friendly, he can just let me do that.
I got to come up with a name of random generators here. Let's see. What's a good name for
I got one for him if you don't.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
We'll call him Emron is his true name. Emron Carlone, because I think that's what you said his last name was or something.
Yes.
And then I will speak that name as the magic power kind of just exhumes with the breath of his name. And then I'll say with a smile across my face, sick 'em, boy. And then I will bless him with my action and then look to Krieg and say, I got a plan. We're getting out of here. Take care of that nanny bitch.
All right. I like the fat ones.
And then if I do have enough speech left, I would say to Steven, all right, buddy, we need to work together here. We're going to get you out of here. Things are going crazy. You're going to come with us, and we're going to help you out, and you're going to help us, okay?
So, all right, Quinn. You know, I like having friends.
Yeah, you're great, too. Let's go, though. And I will start, like, escorting him out of the office, I guess.
Gotcha. Yeah, in front of you is just this old fat maid nanny who's basically just down on the ground, as well as the other guard who's nearly dead down on the ground.
I'll kick that guard in the balls if I have just like this enough action.
Perfect, because Coyote is up next. So as you come around and give this guard a swift kick from behind, you can see he drops down a little bit. Within just seconds, Coyote is upon him. Plus is plus 1d4, right?
Yeah, 1d4 on pretty much attacks and saving throws, I believe.
Sweet. That will be a hit and damage. Oh, yeah. As this guard drops down to the ground, you can see Coyotes on him in an instant. This black claws at the end of each finger just dig into this enforcer's throat. You see Coyote's teeth come in as this just mauls this guy into pieces within a few moments. An absolute frenzy, spray of blood pretty much going everywhere. Behind him, this shield maiden, this defensive sentinel will bring the shield down almost over and over, trying to shove Coyote off of this enforcer, but to no avail. He looks like he's in an absolute bloodlust. When he comes back up, the whole front of him is just covered in gore, but you see that smile on his face. He says, "We're getting out of here, Quinn. We're getting out of here." Behind him, you can see this enforcer, this shield maiden, is just smashing him with the shield, but he's completely oblivious to it pretty much.
And I'll just say, yeah, we are. Just hold them off a bit longer.
Oh, you got it, Quinn. Don't forget me. I'm coming right behind. We're going to get out of here. And with that, the nanny is up. She'll turn around pretty much in her last thing, just hurling this rolling pin at you, Quinn.
I'd like to do a reaction for protection on
Alright.
Quinn. He kind of flings his shield out towards her. It just gives her disadvantage attacking him.
Oh, that's good.
Or attacking her.
Perfect. So yes, it looks like it's swinging just towards you with a 19 to hit. Coming at your skull, this last moment of this old wench's fury, I suppose. And you'll see the flash of Krieg's shield as he knocks this thing out of the way for you, Quinn. You turn to see the smile of Krieg. And this old nanny's just going to flop forward onto the ground. She's still alive, but just falls unconscious as the rest of this ice overcomes her face. And the shield guard is just bashing the hell out of Coyote, but Coyote seems almost oblivious. But he'll turn towards this guard, hitting him, smiling, this bloodlust onto his face. With that, Krieg, you are up.
All right, well, Nanny seems to be down. So I think first things first, I got to run into the warden's office. I need to just flip shit around his desk looking for a map, or the map of the tunnels. Specifically, I need to know where it comes out.
Yeah, dig through real quick. He has papers everywhere scattered across his desk. Give me an investigation or a perception, your choice.
Same bonus. Actually, perception is better. Yeah. Same number, but one's a plus, one's a minus. Oh, son of a bitch. Yeah, I rolled a nat 1. I didn't find shit.
Use that
In fact, I
inspiration.
got a paper cut.
You got inspiration.
Yes, I'm going to use inspiration. So that is nice. That's going to be a 16 instead. That is way
Nice.
better.
Scattering all of these things. You've seen some of these. Most of them are just blueprints of the prison and forums and all this other crap. And then there it is, this map you saw once on his desk. Seems like the same one that you saw Murray had in his hands, the tunnels, where most of them branch out. Seems to be a quick overlay. You need more time to look at it, but yeah, you can quickly roll this thing up, shove it into your pocket as you turn.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm turning to go, all right, we're ready. We just have to get to the coast now. I've got something that needs to be doing. And I'm going to go follow up with Quinn and the kid.
Perfect. And lastly, Mithra, you are up on the back of the distillery tank. There's 4 fires just rolling across the back of the tank. Your harpoon is ready to be loaded and launched if desired. The spider's off a little bit ways since Malachi is pulling away from it at the moment, but it's perfectly in sight.
Yeah, I'm gonna launch it. I'm also gonna let Malachi know that our car is hitting its last legs. Malachi, this car is not gonna make it too much farther.
It's an
1d
vehicle. They'll get us through.
1d20 for the attack.
Yep, plus 7.
Oh, sweet. I only rolled a 10, but 17.
17 is a hit.
And 2d8, I think. Yeah.
2d8 plus 2, yep.
Oh, 8 plus 2? And 3.
10, 13. Oof. Sweet. You will see this launch, this jagged piece of metal fling forward right through the side abdomen area of this, or thorax, whatever it's called on a spider. Buries itself in, and you can feel the line go taut as this Malachi pulls the vehicle forward, lodging this hunk of metal on the inside, sort of kitty corner, notched into a little bit of the husk in between some metal and some wood as the line goes nice and tight. Anything else on your turn?
Nope, that's it.
All right. That's the end of the round as these fires roll across the tank. Oof. 9 points of fire damage that the tank's going to tank. That ignores the damage threshold to just straight up 9 damage. And they quickly begin to spread a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger. If you don't get these flames out, Mithra, since you're back there, you can see them. They're going to quickly overcome. If not, hit the main engine tank of the vehicle, or the engine fuel fossil, whatever you want to call it. And that is the end of the round. Upstairs, Quinn, Krieg, this young boy, Steven. You guys have a straight shot out of this room, and Steven's kind of pulling you along. Quinn, his hand, he reaches up softly, and you can feel his cold hand grab around your finger. So, you should follow me, Quinn. I know where to go.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Let's go. And I kind of shiver with the cold, dead grasp of this little mini demon child.
Notice that he doesn't move very quick, though. He just sort of saunters.
I'm going to say, how about we take a piggyback ride on old Uncle Krieg here and pick him up and put him on the back of Krieg.
Nice. And behind you can hear Coyote as he lets out the screeching howl, and the man screams. Down in the main cavern, Malachi, you pull this line taut, the vehicle starting to pull forward. You can feel you're dragging the spider behind you a little bit. Several of its legs are busted up, and the whole thing's been beaten up quite bad. It doesn't have the strength that it once did, but it pushes back the best it can. As it comes up along part of one of these stalagmites lifting up out of the ground, you can see the two side legs of the thing come sweeping forward and smash into the stalagmite. Give me a spider. I need a dexterity save with the vehicle, Malachi.
9.
9. With that, you can see a couple of these huge boulders fling forward, smash into the side of the vehicle. For 6 points of damage.
That's below my damage threshold.
Yep. So you do not take any. But with that, a couple more boulders fling past, and you see one huge, massive piece of rock flies forward, smashes into one of these side tunnels. You can see the iron bars that come down over top of it screech and kind of get blasted out of the way. The stone itself just explodes, finally opening up this one tunnel into the distance. It's far on the other side of the room, but there's a tunnel. Maria will look down. That's the tunnel. We need to get out of here. Straight ahead, straight ahead. Don't worry about that damn thing right now. And with that, the spider's going to go first, and it quickly flings forward. You can see this web shoot out from the back of its abdomen. I need a strength check with the vehicle.
Oh, yeah, baby. That is a 24.
Ooh. It'll slam into the back. You're still attached to it with your own harpooning. This one slams into the back of yours, its own harpoon, basically. And quickly, as you pull forward a little bit, it's never able to get that line tight enough before you snap it right before it goes. And the whole thing will jerk forward a little bit. Well, I guess all I can do is try to jump. So with that, as you're starting to drag this thing forward a little bit, it looks like it's fighting it for a few seconds, and then the whole thing lurches forward, skitters across the ground, and leaps into the air. Ooh, that's a nat 20, though. And it'll come down top your tank. 17 points of damage this time, as the whole thing smashes down straight on top of the tank. You can see all the legs puncture down into the stone around you. The whole body of this thing just smashes straight down. Mithra, give me a Constitution saving throw with whatever your stats are. And you'll see this huge hulk of a mechanical undead goblin spider smash down, coming right forwards towards you.
15.
Nice. That is a pass, so you will not take any damage. Just quickly kind of curling into a ball or something where you're at, you smash this down. You're able to go through like that little hole that's on the thorax before it lifts itself back up. It will start trying to get away again, but that line will go taut. Back in the room, you can hear these battles fighting, Krieg and Quinn. You can hear this guard's scream, the laughter of Coyote, and then silence. Only a few moments pass before you can hear that galloping behind you as he comes running through the doorway down the hall towards you guys, down on all fours, just covered in gore. You're pretty sure you see an intestine kind of flanging out from the side of his mouth that he's chewing on. He says, I'm coming, Quinn, I'm coming. Don't you worry. I didn't forget about you. Mithra, you are up. You can see the fires are just raging on the back of this tank that will need to be put out quick or something done about them. The harpoon is still attached to the spider, too.
All right. Is prestidigitation enough to create water, or is that too... I mean, it says minor.
It does minor tricks, but you could go like a gust of wind or something like that would blow out one.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to try that.
All right. There's 3 flames rolling at the moment, so go ahead and... give me a 1d4 roll. See how many you put out.
All right. Come on for 3. Oh, I got a 4.
Yeah, so this blast of wind, you're able to harness a little bit deeper than you thought, and maybe the panic, maybe the excitement, the adrenaline, whatever the case, you just blast this cold wind that goes across to them. See them flicker a little bit. Looks like they're going to spread, and then poof, it's just a thick smoke. You can see the burnt bits of the tank, almost like tiger stripes on the back. Anything else on your turn?
I'm gonna just look at Malachi and be like, are we close to getting out of here or what? Like, do we even know what, like, would Malachi and I, like, have any idea where we probably have no idea where we are right now.
No, but Murray was pointing Malachi towards a tunnel that had been opened up, so he's, whether Malachi goes in that direction or not's up to him. But
Malachi has a glint in his eye, and a smile on his face.
I mean, we could still go turn around and get your sister.
Fucking fuck.
Great, now I feel bad for bringing that up again.
Alright, let's see. They're dead. So yeah, Malachi, you are up.
Alright, so as the spider is trying to back away and the line tautens, I'm imagining his harpoon did not have a rope attached to it.
The one that sent towards you?
Yeah. The one
right,
that,
yeah. Well, it did, but it snapped, so yeah, it never really got a hold of you. Yours, the one that Mithra launched, is still attached to it, though.
Alright, sweet. So yeah, Malachi will look to Murray and he'll see where he's pointing. Look at where the rock smashed the iron gate and the glint comes across his eyes. He keeps the rope taut as he starts driving around in a giant circle around the spider. The point of the harpoon continuing to make the rope start spinning around and lower around the body of the spider. And hopefully I can make, like, with 120 feet, I'm hoping I can make 2 rounds. I'm imagining this rope's not super, though. So after 2 rounds of the rope, I'm going to lift my hand up, cast my Eldritch Blast with amazing aim, which you're probably going to want to roll for, as the 5-pointed star strikes from my fingers. It's going to blast the rope, and I'm going to use, like, the centrifugal force to help us start speeding towards the hole that Murray was pointing at.
Nice. Go ahead and give me that roll.
I don't know what you want for, like, an accurate fucking... I can use my advantage.
Go for it.
Oh, thank God. Okay, so with fuck, I don't have my sheet. There it is. With a 4, that's a 16.
All right. So he wraps this rope around the legs a couple of times. When you hit it with this Eldritch Blast, it'll quickly fall back. The whole thing just smashing into the ground off balance. Its legs tangled up in this bit of rope. Are you taking off for that tunnel or somewhere else?
Yeah, for that tunnel that the iron bars are smashed on.
So you're going to see that line go taut once again as you're racing forward. The whole thing gets dragged behind you. Once you hit this tunnel, it's large enough for your vehicle to fit through. It's still, a little bit of room on either side, but certainly not big enough for the spider. So as you take off down this tunnel, you're going to hear the crunch, the scraping, the squealing of wood, steel, metal as this spider slams into the wall on the other side. A couple legs will break free as they just smash and dangle behind you, kind of like cans on the back of a wedding wagon. Dangling behind you, and see all the screams of the goblins in the distance, some of them cheering, some of them quite entertained. You can hear the laughter. That was entertaining. As you take off down this tunnel, the spidery legs behind you, dancing along the stone. Upstairs, Well, Murray doesn't need the help, so that don't matter. Krieg, you are up. Quinn will reach over and just place this cold, creepy kid on your shoulders, apparently. He'll wrap his arms around your head. He says, down here to the left. Through that room there. You're going to have to go down a couple flights of stairs.
To get outside?
Yep. You trust in me, yeah? You be my friend too?
I don't even know you.
I'm gonna call it Krieg and be like, listen, Krieg. We're gonna play a game right now. All of us. We all like games, right? Looking at the kid.
I love games. Did you ever see the one with the 3 shells? I couldn't figure it out. It's some kind of magic thing.
I'll be like, no. This is a different game. This is a different game.
Oh, I like games too, Quinn. You know what I like to do? I like to sneak up and just kick people in the balls sometimes.
Yeah. Shut up. We're gonna play a new game called Sentinels and Bad Guys, and we're gonna be the Sentinels, and we're gonna escort you, Stephen, out of the prison. So you need to show us the way, and then if any Sentinels come, they're the bad guys, and our good buddy Coyote here is gonna take care of them. This sounds like fun, right?
Yeah, I don't quite understand that one with the 3 shells either.
I wasn't asking you.
This sounds like a fun game to me.
Steven, you like this game, right, Steven? I'm assuming that I'm cutting off Coyote, right?
He says, no, I don't know. I've never played a game like that, Quinn.
Well, that's what friends do. The friends play games together, and we get to know each other. It's going to be great. We just need you to do your part, which is getting us out of the prison. And you look like a very smart little boy. You know a way out of the prison, right?
Well, who's the good guys? And who's the bad?
Me and Krieg.
Oh. I don't have much of an imagination, but yeah, let's play. Let's play a game.
You lead us out.
Right. That sounds like a grand game.
Cold hands on your side of your head, pointing you forward, and he'll start to lead you out of this place. Behind you,
yeah, I'm just running.
Coyote will continue to scramble, sort of awkwardly on all fours, still looking rather feral and odd. It takes a few moments, and Coyote would be up last, so yeah, he's just going to follow. But this kid will lead you, down through a couple rooms, down a set of stairs, and you come into what looks to be this foyer. Off to the side, several offices and rooms, and up ahead of you, these big open double doors. It says, right there, all we got to do is go outside. Am I coming with you? Says, I've spent an awfully long time here, living, watching, learning. I wouldn't mind coming with you, Quinn.
Gonna look at Krieg.
Oh, aye, he's coming with.
Yeah,
You're going all the way out here with us, Stephen. Don't you worry about a thing.
We're friends now. We stick together.
Friends. I like the sound of that.
Do an insight check, Stephen. Do it.
Friends stick together. And when you look at him,
It
Quinn,
sounds like Children of the Corn.
he has this weird, creepy smile on his face. His eyes sort of gaze off. And you go up to the doors and swing them open. In front of you is a large courtyard. You can see a playset in the distance. A soft breeze blows through, and then he swings back and forth, creaking in the distance. There's a couple of tires hang off of a tree. There's a small, what looks to be a fire pit, and it has this rotisserie thing over top of it. Currently nothing on it, but it looks like they, if they wanted to have a roast a lamb or a pig or something over it. And just beyond that, simple white fence kind of circles around, and then just a cornfield everywhere you look into the distance. And this kid will look around. My mom never let me go into the cornfields. I don't know how to go anywhere from here.
Anywhere is better than back there.
Right? Well, we've got the sun, so directions are easy from here. The ocean is west. Straight west.
He will look over his shoulder in that western direction. Well, then you lead the way, friend.
Why, you're gonna love the water.
That initiative is done. Camera will continue on Krieg and Quinn. You can see the small boy sitting on Krieg's shoulders. You guys walk across the courtyard. You can see the swinging back and forth, and it's just cornfield pretty much everywhere around you. Coyote will come up, stops for just a moment. You see he starts scratching at his ear, like madly for a few moments, shakes his head. Sorry about that. Sometimes I get a bit of an itch back there. And he'll run over to you when he says, right there. Can you scratch that just a little, right behind the ear? I can't quite get it.
I imagine there's like intestines and gore still hanging off of that spot. Just gonna like grab a random stick on the ground and scratch him with it.
See his leg go for a few moments. Sorry, I got a little carried away there. So where are we going?
Baldur's Gate. Does anyone know the way?
I know the way. I've been there many times, mate. Just follow me.
Perfect.
You'll see Coyote to the side, just take off running back towards the house.
Wait, back towards the prison?
Well, as you step outside, it's just a house. But yes.
Where is your dog going?
Don't know how sane he is.
Quickly zags off to the side. You see he's headed towards the side of the house, like around the back side.
I want to look up, can we see the sun?
Yeah, it's setting.
Yeah. Is it setting towards the other side of the house where he's heading?
Nope, he would be running towards the back side of the house, which is a cliff, which would be to the south.
Yeah, that's not the right way.
That's the right way, I'm telling you. Go, guys. I know this. I don't like the back of my hand.
But that's a long way down right there.
You gotta trust in me. He'll let out this howl as he disappears around the side of the house.
I mean, he got us this far. Let's see what he's looking at. I'm gonna walk over to the cliff.
Yeah, I'll kind of follow, but I don't think that's the right way. I have things that need to be done. That drow you're friends with, the Mithra, I have to get that one to Baldur's Gate. I need to go to the cave, and he kind of unfurls this map. This is where they should be coming out, and I have to get that one down there. It's important. Somebody told me it's important, and I think she knows me or knows something about me. I don't know, but you have to come also.
I am not sure what you are talking about.
Oh, it's all right. I've heard all about you. You've got that. You're the name one.
Yes, I do have a name. That is right.
No, like a nameomancer, or whatever you wee magic folk call yourselves.
Who the fuck are you? I'll say questionably.
I'm Krieg.
And when I'm doing that, I'm actually trying to extract his true name. So it's up to you whether you want to resist it or not.
I think you would just see like something hazy, like you're looking at it through frosted glass. Like there's something there, but it's not coming through.
All right.
There's some kind of strange block, I guess.
I won't forcefully try to do it then.
Name is Krieg. You definitely know that much.
Okay.
Like true and honest. The rest of it is kind of a wash.
And then we're walking over to Coyote? I mean, sure. What do we have to lose?
You go along the side of this house. From here, it looks like just a nice, it's mansion-y size, not super fancy or anything, but it's quite a nice house. To the left of you is this cornfield that goes out a little bit. To the right is the house as you walk beside it. And you come out to the back side, and it is built right directly into a cliffside. You can see Coyote up ahead, sitting back on his haunches, his back leg itching at the side of him a little bit, wiping off what little bit of gore he has. And you see, looks out. Says, "Oh, you followed. All we got to do is jump. Are you ready? Are you ready?" And he will take a run and just jump off the side of the cliff.
I'll just be like, "Holy fuck, what are you..." And he's just gone, I imagine.
As you come to the side and look down, you can see him falling through the air. It's about a 200-foot drop, but there is a river below. You can see him flailing in the air, and then just this explosion of water as he lands below. At that moment, we will swap over to Mithra and Malachi for a moment. As you guys run through this tunnel, you can see the scraping and bouncing of the spider legs behind you. Eventually, the rope that you have on this harpoon gives away, letting them flail off into the distance. Murray's going to lead you along for quite a little while, maybe 10, 15 minutes, before you can see this pinpoint of light in the distance, Malachi. And beside you, Murray will start smacking your shoulder. He's like, "That's it, that's it. Just floor it, Malachi. Trust me on this one. Trust me, boy. Just put it down and go."
Better fucking be there. Hammer the gas.
Nice. You can feel this whole thing speed up a little bit. When you look down, you can see it starts to lose power a little bit. This couple of the gauges drop to zero behind you when you're sitting on the back of this thing, Mithra. You see the tank that's on the back of this thing finally give way. This blast of flame explodes out the back of the distillery tank. You could have swore you saw faces into that flame, hands, claws, but the tank's moving too quick at this point, and it's just a splash of flame that disappears into the hall behind you, into the tunnel. Up ahead, this pinpoint of light gets brighter and brighter. And you realize it's the sky, Malachi. You can smell the salty air. You can see the clouds, freedom. You haven't seen this in months, long time. You can feel a cool breeze as your hair flows behind you. And when you hit the end of this tunnel, it's a blast of light, and you explode out of this cavern entrance, and you see the whole tank just fly through the air. All around you is open air. Quinn and Mad Krieg, as you guys are looking down, you see Coyote smashed into the water. Just a few seconds as you try to decide what to do, then you see the vehicle, the distillery tank, it looks like that, explode out of the side of this cliff, flying through the air. Mithra and Malachi, give me dexterity saving throws, please.
Where the fuck are you? That's a 15.
Alright.
What? Oh, 15 as well, actually.
Let's see. Murray. Ooh, nice. As this whole thing, you guys feel your stomachs drop, and as you look out, you realize you're a good 100 feet at least above what looks to be a river down below as you explode out of the side of this cliffside. The air, the wind in your hair, everything flows around you. You can feel your clothes billow out a little bit. Murray's going to reach over since you're right there, Malachi, and he lifts up in his seat, grabs a hold of you, and pushes himself out of this vehicle. You can see flames erupt from the front of the vehicle, from the back of the vehicle, as the whole thing starts to blow apart under the force of all the energy you were putting into it. Mithra, you are on the back, so you'd have to leap off yourself if you wish to, but you got Kantos at your feet as well. What do you do? You can see the water below you that you would land into, hopefully safely.
Can I grab him and just try and make a jump for it? See if I have enough strength to pull him along? I mean, it probably won't be very graceful, but I'll at least get him out of there.
All right.
Ooh, that's a 2 plus... it's not going to be very good.
Do dex.
It's 4.
Yeah. So, yeah, you let Murray grab a hold of you, Malachi? Or...
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he just kind of leaps out of his chair, wraps his arms around you as he pushes himself off, kind of jiving off the side towards this river below you. Beside that, you see Mithra behind, reach down, trying to grab a hold at Kantos. But yeah, it's that moment of either take him with you or just leap yourself, Mithra.
I gotta jump.
You can see he flails with his body bouncing along the back of this huge tank as it flies through the air. You leap off the side of it as well. It's going to just fall. You're going to see his body falling alongside with it, and it just explodes when it hits the ground. Bits of steam, dirt, wood, metal just explodes everywhere on the bank side of this river. Kanto's somewhere lost amongst that. You guys will see a splash below you, another form that smashes into the water. The river coming up quicker and quicker, and then all three of you, Murray, Malachi, and Mithra, smash into the water. You're still going to take damage from that. So Mithra, 6 points of damage, Malachi 1, Murray 2. As you guys hit the water hard, but otherwise, well, I don't know if Mithra's safe with that, but
not really. No, I am unconscious when I hit the water. I guess the force of my crappy jump, I just belly flopped and I am knocked out.
One hell of a belly flop. Murray's going to quickly pull himself up to the top. Are you still up, Malachi?
Yeah.
All right. And he will start swimming towards the side, the water just flowing around all of you. And he looks like he grabs some form that's beside him. He doesn't really, maybe just out of instinct, you don't know if it's Mithra or not, but he grabs it and starts pulling himself towards the bank. As you look around, Malachi, you realize that whoever he has is not Mithra, but the drow, she isn't coming up from underwater.
I take a giant breath and dive. Search, scramble, eyes open.
Give me a Constitution save first. Let's see how long you can hold.
I am amazing at holding my breath. Hold on, let me show you. Fuck. That's a 4.
Take a huge gulp. As a splash of water goes over, you feel the water enter your mouth, your lungs. You start coughing and hacking. You can give me a perception check to find Mithra, but it is at disadvantage.
Oh, darn you and your GM.
After all that, we're gonna drown. Fuck.
Yeah,
What is it?
Not 1, 3 advantage.
So yeah, you take a breath, start looking around, but the water is just flowing around. You can see yourself pulled a little bit further down the river, eventually catching yourself on the log. You can look around. You see Murray up ahead, dragging the body out of the water. It looks to be some man or something, just covered in algae and gore.
In that one, I'd probably shove my face back underwater and yell, "Mithra!"
You'll hit the water hard. Mithra, you can feel your blast of your lungs just expel what breath you have left. And everything around you, this bubbling water, everything goes dark. Look around, Malachi. Take another breath, look around, screaming for, and it's just nothing. 10 seconds pass, 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes, several minutes, in fact, before you'd realize it's pretty much a lost cause. If she even is under the water, she would have been pulled downriver by now.
I want to stop.
You continue looking, screaming. Up on the cliffside, you guys are about 200 feet above the water. You can see Coyote as he smashes down into the water below after jumping. A few moments pass as you try to decide what to do, and you'll see the distillery tank explode from the side. The whole thing falls, smashes into the side, the river's side. You could see 3 forms jump off the back of it and into the water. 2 of them pull themselves up on the side of the bank. You can hear just briefly something, this one that's still in the water down below screaming, but you can't quite make out what it is or who it is or what they're yelling about. So you can't really tell what's going on down there. You can see kind of like ants way down below you, but what do you guys do?
I think Krieg pulls that map out again, kind of looks at it, turns the page upside down. I guess that didn't do me no good at all. I thought he was way farther away. And then he's going to kind of hold the kid's arms. You ready? This is going to be...
Whoa. That is 200 feet.
Is it? He covers up his
at least
floated out eye.
You said 200, right?
Yeah. Down. So should I hold my breath longer?
Listen, if you jump off that right now, you're going to hit that like concrete and smash.
I'm pretty sure that's a myth. It's water.
Oh, no. That is basic science, my friend. That is basic science. Physics, I believe that's what that's called.
Well, I am pretty tough. I've got all the physicality that there could be. Clearly not understanding what you're saying.
This kid looks over him. I think we could make it. I've never went swimming before.
Yeah, I'm sure a guy that is named Mad Krieg and a kid really has a great understanding of this. This is great.
We can do it, Krieg. Go
I'm
ahead.
like flipping. Go ahead.
I'm wearing armor. I have a shield.
I'm like flipping through my my wizard's book like frantically, like Featherfall. I must have prepped it somewhere in here. I remembered in the fucking academy. Where is it? And I don't have it written, so I don't know Featherfall.
This boy will tap you on the side of the head. Go ahead, Krieg. Let's jump.
Is there a
Nothing
ladder
like
somewhere?
the present. Just imagine that cool wind blowing through your hair, the taste of fresh water. It'll be like living again. Go ahead, Krieg.
Wait, say what now?
Jump.
What's this living part? Because I'm pretty sure I'm already alive. What do you mean living again?
Oh, it's simply a metaphor.
For what?
Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Right. Ooh, 13?
You want to jump. You're pretty sure that's the way to go, Krieg. It's okay, Quinn. Falling only takes a moment. Go ahead, Krieg.
You see,
Yeah.
he's making some pretty good points now. And Krieg steps over the edge, kind of holds up his shield.
I like reach out to try to grab him. Like, no, what are you doing?
Oh, man.
I imagine you already jumped though.
Yeah, he kind of stepped off the edge. Oh, crap.
Now you can see your
This
hand reaches out, just sort of grasps at the air where Krieg was as he goes over. This kid hanging on tightly. You can see this silken gown, the silken clothes of this kid just billows out around them as they fall. Give me a dexterity saving throw, Krieg.
All right. This is not good. That is not good. 8.
No, that is not good. You'll see, Krieg. It looks like he's falling. You can see he spreads his hands out, his legs, belly flopping straight towards the water. 8.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
yell out,
for
that's terrible
dexterity.
fucking form. And can I jump down and like jump in beeline towards him?
I mean, it's strength. I have athletics.
Well, how are you going to use
That would help.
athletics to help? You tell me.
I have no idea. I mean, he was a sailor at one point or a marine.
Maybe knowing how to dive into the water instead of letting
Yeah.
your chest break the fall.
That's what I'm thinking. More of
Okay.
more along those lines.
Give me an athletics roll. I'll let you half the damage if we succeed.
There's a much bigger bonus. Oh,
Because it is an 8d6 at the moment.
and I still rolled really crappy. That's only going to give me a 12 with my bonus.
All right. Does anybody
I
want
have
to
a
give him
+5.
inspiration?
Can I see this going and then jump also and like try to skydive towards him, realizing that he has terrible posture and he's probably like counterbalanced by the kid?
You certainly could.
All right, I'm gonna say for fuck's sakes, and then close my eyes and take a deep breath, and then just jump. And then next time I open my eyes, I'm like full on head diving towards him, I guess.
As you step forward, Quinn, you can hear the screaming behind you. Turn and glance over your shoulder. As 4 guards are coming around the side of the building, weapons in hand, raised as they're running towards you. And then you feel the wind as you start diving towards him. Go ahead and give me a dexterity saving throw.
All right. While I'm doing this, can I cast blast on myself?
Yeah.
Okay. And Dex saving throw. Let's do it. Okay, guess who's spending their inspiration also? Oh my god. What in the sweet fuck is going on? I rolled 2 3s. So natural 9 with or not natural, but 9 with all the modifiers. I guess I like get down there and now we're all in a free fall as I'm like trying to yell at him, the kid, he's on your shoulders wrong, and then we all just start spinning into like a barrel roll.
You're screaming at the water, Malachi, looking around. You can see Murray pull out this form. He's just putting his hands up in the air, shaking his head back and forth. He's like, I don't see her. I don't see her, lad. I don't know where she is. And you can see he covers his eyes sort of from the glint of the sun across the water, and he's looking. And you can hear the scream above. And you look up at Malachi, and you can see 3 more forms. 2 of them a little bit smaller, and another falling from above, where you can see it looks like a side of a house is built right into the cliffside. It's just streaking down towards the water. And then this explosion of water as they hit it. For that last brief second, you're almost positive you saw Quinn. And then just nothing as the water goes off around. But first, Mithra, you're cold. You can feel this wetness all around you. Something heavy smacks the side of your head. You can go to try and take a breath, but it's just liquid. You start coughing and gagging, and you can't breathe. You feel enclosed, this sense of claustrophobia just wrapping around you. Very, very cold. And you feel a hand, something grabs a hold of your arm. This warm breath on your face. It's the only bit of warmth you can feel. And you can hear the grumblings of a sound. You'll open your eyes and see this man looking down at you. A little bit scruffy, quite handsome though. First thing you notice. Has a bit of a 5 o'clock shadow. His skin is nicely tanned, his ears drawn back into slight points. Not an elf though, not an elf you would recognize. He smiles, this beautiful pearly white bits. It's his eyes that you notice the most, though. They're gorgeous. And he smiles, it's like, you took a hell of a fall, girl.
I do the enchanting around here. So as I kind of catch my breath, I'm gonna spit a whole bunch of water like right into his face. I just coughed up a bunch of water. I mean, sorry.
Sort of just wipes it off to the side. So, I get it. I get it. And around you, you're going to see just this dark bluish color. You can feel you're on the ground or something hard beneath you, but you don't see the sky and you don't really see anything. Just this bluish purple shade. And him. This is Mithra. That's your name, right? I got that right?
Yeah, you did. I'm gonna say as I still kind of struggling to talk. Like I just really swallowed a lot of water here, and I'm just kind of like trying to catch my breath and just figure out where I even landed and where this guy came from. I'm gonna ask him, where did you come from?
You feel the strong grip on your shoulders. He helps you up a little bit and pats you on the back, trying to get up more water. You cough off a bit more. And you called for me.
When?
I was there on the bank, fishing, catching me a few trout. I like to fish. So there's something relaxing in it. Something that you just relax, be free, smell the air, listen to the birds. You ever heard a bird sing, Mithra?
I mean, I'm not really a nature person, so they kind of
go
irritate me when they wake me up in the morning.
You should go fishing sometime. And then I heard when you smashed into the water. I heard you scream. And I heard you cry out. Leo, you said. Yes, Leo.
Is that your name?
It is. You called for me. And here I am.
Weird. I don't remember that, but I'm definitely grateful you saved me. Thank you.
Don't mention it, girl. Don't mention it at all. That's what I'm here to do. to save the lives of those unfortunate people who don't know how to swim. You should truly learn how to swim, Mithra.
I
Or hold
know.
your breath longer.
I mean, usually I'm pretty good at it, but I really fucked up on that jump.
Yeah, it happens, it happens. So your friends there. I suppose you want to get back to them, eh?
I do. Do you want to come with?
No. Do you like freedom? Do you like to express your chaotic side, Mithra?
I
I
mean,
mean, you don't look like one that wants to be shackled down and stuck in the same routine every day, right?
no, but I kind of am looking for someone right now, so I'm kind of busy.
Well, then you've come to the right place. Who are you looking for? Maybe
Could
I
I
know him.
like get a? Could I do like a perception check and get a like how straight up is this? Is he just like? Why is he being so? Because I often use charm to my advantage. I feel like I can pick up on that the fact that he's really trying to. I just want to see how genuine he's being.
Give me an insight roll.
Ooh, that's a natural 20.
He's not casting any sort of spells on you, and besides just being naturally charming, he seems to be genuine. I mean, he's not. What do you think? Says, I know how you feel, Mithra. Being a bit out of sorts here, I mean, the scenery isn't the best. This is maybe a little bit frightened, need priorities. You have priorities, you have friends you want to get back to, I understand. Says, don't let me keep you from that, but I must be honest here, my friend. You're in quite the predicament. Says, I'm only giving you breath for a moment here. In fact, deep under the waves, under the splashing waters of the river Equinox, stuck beneath a log that your foot is trapped below. Says, if I send you back now, you're just gonna die. So I figured I'd step in, give you a reprieve, give you a moment to sort out your thoughts, and perhaps we could come to terms. Scratch my back, I scratch yours, or to be more specific, do me a favor, and I'll ensure you reach the shore side.
Okay. I mean, you're making me feel a little uncomfortable. You just happen to be sitting here fishing,
Yeah,
waiting for me.
Well, that's how we work sometimes, you know.
Feels like a lot of people who I don't know seem to know me.
Word travels fast in Baldur's Gate. It does indeed. Let's not pussy willow around here.
What do you want?
You do me a favor. You do me a favor, and I'll ensure that you live, that your friends find you, and hell, I'll even make sure you have a safe trip back to Baldur's Gate. I mean, that's where you're going, isn't it? Of course it is. Of course it is. You do me a favor, and you get all of that and more.
What's the favor? Sounds like you want a pretty big favor for all that payoff.
Certainly not. Is actually one I think you will enjoy, Mithra. See, I have a fellow who I don't like very much. I've looked into your background. I can see it in your eyes, some of those skills that you have, assassinations you've done. You just gotta take out somebody for me. Take them out, promise to do it. You'll be back to the shore side in no time. Back with your friends, having a good meal, a good night's rest. What do you say?
I want to know what you want first. I don't agree to anything until you tell me what you want. I don't make promises until I hear the deal.
All right, well, you know the warden of the prison, right? That fat bastard.
Yeah, he's not my favorite person.
Yeah, mine neither. What would you say of taking him out for me? I'll give you all the tools and the knowledge. You just got to do the deed.
Why do you want to get rid of him?
Well, I'm a bit of... I've had a curse, I guess you could call it. Can't quite do it myself. If I could, I would have already. But somebody else is able to take him out. Well, there's no contract breakment for that. So if I can get somebody else to do it, I'll be free and I can go on living my life.
So basically, you save my life and I'll save yours.
That's the deal, Mithra. That's the deal.
It's not totally unfair.
I mean, you don't like the guy anyway, right? Wouldn't be that bad to slip in a dagger between the fat bastard's ribs.
What did you do to get cursed?
We had a bit of a disagreement.
About what?
I don't think that's important to our deal.
I'm gonna just contemplate for just a second. But quite honestly, I'm in a crappy position, and maybe I'm not thinking 100% clearly, but I'm gonna agree. You know what? This guy didn't do me any favors, so sure, why not?
Exactly. But there's one more thing.
There's always a catch.
There's always a catch. You're right, you're right. He has a son. You need to bring that little kid to me. Don't have to. He's a good kid. He doesn't bother or harm. In fact, he's quite rightly abused, a little bit creepy sometimes, but, you know, his father never quite treated him right. In fact, Mithra, this doesn't even need to be within the contract. If you just happen to come across the lad, you can say, hey, little lad, I'm going to meet you up with a friend of mine, and just bring him to me. I think he'll have a much better life with somebody who actually cares about him. But you don't have to worry about that. It's not in the contracts.
I'm not really sure what you heard about me, but I don't deal with kids.
Well, it would be in your best interest. But if you decide not to, then hey, that's fine. Think of it as an extension of the contract. A few more boosts, a little extra money under the slide if you can do this for me. If not, then hey, there's no fault, no foul, right?
What are you gonna do to him? And I wanna insight check him and see if he's answering honestly.
Says, I'm just looking to raise the kid right. Up there, this fat wench of a nanny always yelling at him, and his father ignoring him. You know, the warden even murdered his mom, so I just want to give the kid a good life. And I can do that. I can do that.
So you're super into adoption, eh? Adoption and murder. That's a weird, really weird combination. I'll definitely, you know what? I'll take the guy out for you. You saved my life. I'll do you a favor, but on one condition, you and I need to have another chat in the future before this happens.
Well, it's funny you should mention that to Mithra. And he will kind of flash out his hand. You see this piece of paper appear, a little burst of flame. If you look at his eyes, you can see each one's nothing more than a pentagram in blackness. We got to sign ourselves a contract, Mithra. The fine details, they don't need to be worried about right now, but let it say that you take out the warden for me, and, well, I will give you life. I will ensure that your friends come upon your body on the shore side, and you'll be healthy as an ox in no time. Cough up a bit of water, and, well, it'll be quite all right. And as an extra bit, if you come across that kid and bring him to me, then I'll ensure that dues are very well paid.
Before I sign anything, I just really want to make stare him down in the eye and say, if you're cursing me, I'm the fuck out of here. I'll just die. I'm not afraid of death.
Says, no, I'm not cursing you. Says, that is not how we work. Says,
we're going to have a chat about who we is later.
He says, well, that comes to a bit of a part, you see. At some point, if you ever need me, all you got to do is call my name, and I'll be right there to help you out. Questions, concerns, perhaps you find yourself in a bit of a pickle. No, lend a hand, and well, we can discuss things further at that point in time. But
All
I
right.
think priorities is to make sure that you're still alive, because you can't do my part of the contract if you're dead.
That's true. Do you have something I can sign with?
This is sure. With that, he'll hold up his hand. You can see this pen sort of looks like it's made out of a raven feather or something. He'll scribble his name across the bottom and hand it to you.
I'm going to sign Mithra, and it's really important just that he just sees that I signed Mithra. That's the name I'm signing on the piece of paper. I mean, it's my name, but that's what I'm signing, and that's it.
It looks very well. You always seal a contract with a handshake, Mithra. I don't know if Drow do that, but from where I'm from, that ensures.
Hey, I'm not an animal. I'm going to hold out my hand.
He will shake your hand. You can feel this cough, this tickle in your throat. You've been coughing when you do so. It's just water going over, all out of your mouth and stuff. You look up, you can see the blue sky above. The whole time you were screaming, Malachi, looking around for her. Finally, you see her body wash up on the shore, maybe 10, 15 yards downriver. Krieg and Quinn, as you guys hit the water, I'll tell you what, I will just split the damage. Either way, it's not going to be good for you guys, but we won't worry too much about it. It'd be 13 for Quinn and 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 for Mad Krieg.
Only
Guys,
addictive too.
hit the water hard. You can feel that last breath that you take, and then just darkness around you. In front of you, Malachi, you see these 3 forms smash into the water. This young boy comes up, flailing about like crazy, his silken gown that sort of flows out into the water next to him. You can see a bit of blood on the side of his mouth, and he's coughing like crazy. Beside him, Krieg, this sentinel that you'd met back down in the shock boxing arena, floats to the top, and you can see Quinn comes up beside him, both of them looking completely unconscious. And this boy will reach over, sees you, and he begins frantically. You can see he doesn't know how to swim, but he's frantically just paddling at the water, trying to get to you, Malachi.
Yeah.
Just help me. I can save your friends. I can save them. He'll go under the water for a second, come back up, trying to gasp for air.
Yeah, you save yourself then, buddy, and I'm going to go for Krieg and my sister. I'm just going to swim right past and be like, you look fine.
And with that, he's just going to be flattling like crazy. But yeah, you can grab Quinn or Krieg and pull them to the shore side if you want.
Yeah, I'll do that, and then I'll go back for Mithra, and if the kid's still fucking having a hard time after that, maybe I'll fucking push him to the shore and kick him.
Let's see if he will last that long. Not with a 3, he won't. So yeah, by the time you grab Krieg, Quinn, pull them up onto the shore, you don't see any sight of the kid anywhere. Off to the side, you can see part of his robes or something caught on a twig, kind of splashing in the water, but he seems to be nowhere in sight.
To be honest, I don't really care. Didn't really know him.
Murray will run over. You can see this man that he's dragged up to the shore side, the scruffy-looking fellow. You're pretty sure you saw Quinn working with him one time. You remember her talking about him, but can't quite recall his name. He is covered in blood and other gore that seems to still be stuck to him a little bit. He does not look all feral anymore, but he looks like a regular guy. Him, Krieg, Mithra, and Quinn are all unconscious, lying on the shore side. Murray will quickly get to work I'm going to say he'll try to stabilize you, Mithra, first. And he does not. And you can see he's trying to wake her up. Finally, she's going to wake up on her own as you just start coughing up water. And you can see Murray above you looking down. Like, I thought I lost you last. And he'll turn and start working on Krieg. What do you do? What do you want, Mithra and Malachi?
I'm going to actually start searching Quinn's body and be like, she went for her book, huh? And see if she actually got her book.
She has it.
Yeah, take it. I'm just gonna slip it in my jacket. Like, fucking book, huh?
Did I notice him take it? Because if I do, I'm just like, I'm loving this. This is hilarious. Malachi, like, relax. I'm good, right? Like, I'm
Actually,
good. Okay.
you will be at full health, fully restored of spells and everything, as if you had a long rest.
Oh, wonderful. Did
You
anyone
feel
else?
excellent.
Yeah, I feel great. I feel like I had 2 coffees and a cigarette, and I'm just loving life. Did anyone else see my interaction with Leo? Did anyone else notice this? Because I almost feel like it. I don't know. That. Correct me if I'm wrong. It kind of felt like that happened, like not like in a dream, but I guess I'm not really sure if I dreamed that or like where that took place. Because
You were gone for like 10 minutes. I don't know where the fuck you were, and then all of a sudden you were on the shore. What interaction?
You know what? It's a really long story. I'll tell you when we're all conscious.
Weird. Okay. Nice to see you again.
Yeah, you too. I missed you. I'm gonna give Malachi a hug because it's been a long day for all of us, and I almost drowned. So I'm like pretty grateful. You guys are like, I don't have a lot of friends, so.
As Quinn and Krieg just continue to lay there unconscious.
I look over. They're breathing, right?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna look over at the goblin because now I'm thinking about that picture again. Can I stabilize him? Can I try and stabilize him? He said he's not breathing, so I'm assuming he needs.
Oh, Krieg, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you can try to actually go ahead and give me a death throw first, Krieg.
Right. That's just straight D20, right?
Yep.
God damn, 7 again.
So, yeah,
That's a fail.
Mark a failure, and yeah, you can see quickly his lips are turning blue. His body's starting to shudder a little bit and shut down.
All right, I'm going to at least try and stabilize him for the moment. Ooh. It's gonna be an 8 plus 3. Oh, 2, sorry.
10? Well, no, you will stabilize him in that case. So yeah, he would be stabilized for the moment. Krieg, give me a 1d4 roll.
Yeah.
D4 is going to be 2.
All right, so you're just going to be unconscious for a few hours until basically they can warm you back up. And Quinn, go ahead and give me a death roll, see where you're at. And you can see Mithra's working on Krieg. Murray will run over beside Quinn. Damn it, Malachi, don't worry about the book right now. Help your sister out. Priorities, man, priorities.
Yeah, there's nothing really I can do. Like, fuck. You know,
Yeah.
moving her legs, I'll start pumping her legs back and forth.
And Malachi will, Murray will. I don't think she's going to make it. I can't figure out what's wrong. And yeah, he failed his medicine check, and he looks over and says, talk to her. Do something. Bring her back.
Hey. And I'm going to start poking her forehead. Hey.
Go ahead and give me another death save, Queen.
Can I do a medicine check on her, though? I do have, like, +3 to medicine.
Natural fucking 20. Can I kick him in the head with my 1
Hey,
HP?
you certainly can.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm kicking him.
Hey.
17 to hit.
That will hit. Go ahead and describe what you do when you wake up.
So I just come to consciousness, spouting water on my mouth, and I look up and see him saying, hey, and pumping my legs and poking me in the face. And I'm just like coughing my lung out, and it's like, what the fuck? And then I just kick him in the forehead and then shoot up to 1 HP, breathing around heavily, looking around. Holy shit, we're alive. We actually are alive. And then I'll look around and where's Steven? Steven, where's the kid?
What kid? Oh, I kind of lost him. He's down the river. So who the fuck? Who was the kid anyway?
Actually, Malachi, why don't you give me a purity saving throw? 'Cause you realize you just let this young kid drown with your priorities of yelling about her book.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
I run by and like jump in the water and try to find him.
That's a nat 20. What does that mean?
That means apparently you do not give two shits at all.
I don't care about.
I'll look around and see if a coyote's around.
He's unconscious, but he looks like he's breathing okay, as Murray was next to him. He's back in his normal form, though.
And then I'll just like frantically be like, where in the river? Where, you fucking idiot? Where?
I just came for your body. He just went past me, I guess. I don't know. He went down the river. Fuck.
And I'll shove by him and I guess jump into the river and see if I see him.
Give me an investigation.
Yeah, I imagine some time's passed, but we'll see. Oh yeah, natural 20. I'll give my inspiration to Mad Krieg.
Ooh.
11 on the investigation.
Yeah, he can come across some of his silken vest that he had on, that purple vest. It's got on a few twigs. Looks to be pretty bloody from what you can see, still trailing off this down the river. But the kid itself, you do not see any sign of at all.
Yeah, I'll spend some more time just frantically looking in the river. I know it's probably like too late now, but Quinn's
I
gonna
saw your book floating down the water too.
We'll worry about that later.
Yeah, a few moments pass, a couple more minutes, and the whole time Quinn's out there just looking, but there's absolutely no sign of this kid. A good 10 minutes at least pass before you just realize he's done and gone or locked under the water somewhere into the undercurrents.
Yeah. So I'll swim towards borderline exhaustion where I can barely keep my head above water, and then I guess just make my way back to the shoreline and just coughing up water and exhausted.
Fucking kid.
You guys will see the sun finally starting to fully set on the horizon. This dark, gloomy dusk going over. Murray will grunt. We should rest for the night, boys and girls. In the morning, we can decide where to go and what to do. It's me. I think I'm going to head myself to Waterdeep. I have a lot of friends there. But you guys can do what you need to do. Let us set up a bit of camp. We'll have a bite to eat and get some well-needed rest. He'll turn and start walking away over to where this little round thing of stones that he's gathered are, start to build a fire. What do the rest of you do?
Whoa.
I missed what you said, Dan.
Who's the kid?
What's with this weird kid? And I'm seriously irritated. I was in a great mood. Now all of a sudden I'm kind of really pissed.
I'll dramatically in a sassy way just turn away from him and not even speak to Malachi and go over to Coyote and start giving him CPR, I guess, to make sure he's comes back to.
Yeah, it takes a few minutes, but he seems like he's going to be all right. He'll eventually wake up and shake his head. We got him, right, Quinn? We got him.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah. We did it.
I knew we would do it. He'll just roll over and fall back asleep. You can see Murray to the side. He's got a bit of a fire going. Looks like he's skinning a few, looks maybe like possums or large rats or something. And yeah, why don't we take a quick 5-minute break and then we'll do the last half hour.
Yeah, let's do it.
Sounds good. BRB.
Excellent. Be right back.
You give my damn book back, Dan. I swear to God.
Fuck, go get it, man. This is fucking definitely a brother sister fucking. I got your book. What you gonna do?
Yeah, you go and get it. You just wait.
So I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe I should talk about this when we're not being recorded. But I have to ask Chris about my next intro piece. See if I can take a few liberties with Quinn.
Sure, maybe.
I don't think you'd be upset by it. I think you'd enjoy it, but I just need to fit. Because I want to build towards my first one now.
Yep.
So I want to be able to actually like introduce something.
Yeah, I'm definitely down to hear you out. I'm probably cool with it. Keep it going. The brotherly sister love.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna get a drink real quick.
Go for it.
So how's the health, man? Feeling better?
Feeling 100 times better.
Awesome.
Much better.
Must have been a little freaky.
Yeah, this sucked. I have high blood pressure, so I'm like, that's just in my family. Like a lot of people have. My dad had it and stuff. My brother and I both have it. So I'm on medicine for that. Just
Coffee shop?
Yeah, that don't help either half the time, but just a basic pill, nothing fancy. Keeps it down or whatever, but apparently high blood pressure, if it's not taken care of, can damage your kidneys. And that's what I thought it was, because just like all the pain that was in my lower back, just it felt like somebody was just stabbing my kidneys. It was so, I don't even know how to explain it.
Wow.
And it would like go from my back, right from my kidneys, right up to the front into my abdomens. But it was just that muscle that wraps around from like the lower lumbar and it wraps into your abdomen muscles that was either torn or stretched really bad or something like that. And it was having spasms. So when it would clench up is when it felt like it was just stabbing. I've never had pain like that before. It was crazy.
That is fucking crazy, man. I'm glad you're feeling better. Like, that's fucking wild.
And they did all the EKGs and the CAT scans and stuff. Apparently my liver is bleeding. They're not sure why. She didn't seem too concerned about it. But I have to go and get an ultrasound on my liver to find out why it's bleeding. And my spleen is enlarged. So I'm dying apparently, but nobody cares. So yeah.
Like, what the fuck? That's a pretty serious thing, you think. I think you know that's a serious thing.
She's like, yeah, you got a lot of blood around your liver, and well, that's all right. You should go in a couple of weeks and get an ultrasound on that. I was like, well, all right, I guess.
Good talk. Thanks.
But otherwise, yeah, they had me just on a really strong Tylenol and a couple ibuprofen for that one day, and I couldn't really do anything. I basically just had to hang out, and yeah, I feel 100 times better now, just having a good day of doing nothing.
Awesome.
Pretty much got it, so I was back to normal. And I mean, it still was sore for the week, and every now and then I'd move just right, but nowhere near what it was.
Crazy, man. It's just wild. Wild to think that it did that fast, right? Like, I know it was slowly built up, but wild to think it all came up.
Well, it started with a stupid little sliver, basically.
That's crazy. That's just crazy. What were you doing to get a sliver?
I'm building a bar, but I can't really see it, but there's a bar back there that I'm working on building.
Oh, I like that idea.
I got the whole thing framed up, and I got some really nice maple plywood, 1-inch plywood I'm getting ready to put around the outside of it. And I think we have the coffee shop itself was built in the late 1800s, the building, and it has all original hardwood floors, but the original hardwood they had must have stockpiled and got it for extras or something, because there's probably maybe a quarter of a pallet down in the basement of the original hardwood from still back then that's down there. So I'm going to grab some of that and I think, polish it up nice, sand it nice, and put some just like polyurethane or protective stain or something on it. So we can keep the actual color, but, just protect it and use that for the siding around it.
It's really awesome. Just fucking half a pallet of 100-year-old wood hanging out.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It would be my dream job, just so you know, to own a nerdy coffee shop. Like, even to work there would be awesome.
The people that I have, it's seriously just like a living Bob's Burger episode every day. It is. Some of our customers are, I don't even know. We got Crazy Horse, and we got Can Man, and we got this one lady who insists that the devil lives in her basement so she doesn't do her laundry because he harasses her when she goes down there. Then she bought him a coffee one day, and he liked that. So now every time she comes, she always buys the devil a coffee so she can take it home to him. That way she can do her laundry.
That's fucking insane.
It's,
I want to see these guys picking on this lady. Like, I don't like that.
That's what I'm like. Either she's crazy and is just, schizophrenic or something and hallucinates, or else there's really some homeless guy living in her basement that she's giving coffee to. I don't know which way to go with it. Yeah, we got Scuba Steve. Got Scuba Steve, who rides his bike everywhere in a scuba outfit underneath his clothes. He even has the cool goggles. He doesn't do the tank or nothing, but he has the goggles, and he talks with the deer. He knows how to hypnotize the deer. So he's always telling us about his latest hypnotic deer escapades.
Like Northeast Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah, basically, yeah. In a scuba outfit.
What state do you live in? This isn't Florida, is it?
New York. No.
Yep. New York, represent.
Yeah. See what you could have come back to there, Joe?
Right? I lived there for long enough. Yeah, or Elmira for me, or outside Elmira. I was born in Elmira. We lived just outside of Horseheads.
Yep.
In a cabin like 5 miles away from anything else.
Nice. Yeah, so that's what is. We have like 3 BSU units, though. Wow, there's just a lot of crazy people here. And they seem to migrate here from the city. And I'm in Elmira Heights, so the town's sort of. I mean, it's right beside Elmira, but we don't really get too much, except for these weirdos that occasionally.
YouTube, if you want to find them or go get a good coffee, you revert it.
Jimi Hendrix lives here. Is a guy who legitimately believes he is Jimi Hendrix. Carries around a guitar case, has a guitar in it that's super old. It's probably worth a hell of a lot of money, but he's just crazy and always telling you that he's going to have a concert, and he'll just pick some random place, sometimes at the hospital, sometimes at the prison, sometimes at the Holiday Inn or the local Hilton or something. And he'll tell you that he's trying to sell you tickets. He has
I don't know. We have we got a lot of crazy people in London, Ontario, too. You'd be surprised.
Southern California, we got crazy people.
I guess they're everywhere.
Right.
All right. What do we got? About a half hour left, so Murray's going to go ahead, get a fire going, starts getting some. They look like animals, water possums or something that he's cooking up over the fire. He really hasn't said much this whole time. Sort of just keeping aside, keeping watch, and cooking food. Coyote's just going to lay there next to the fire on his back, kind of curled up a little bit, trying to soak in what warmth he can. Every now and then he'll look over to make sure Quinn is still around somewhere. He'll give you that sort of smile and that thumbs up when he looks at you, Quinn. What are the rest of you doing?
Fucking coding. You mean you're not going to talk to me? Fuck you.
I'll throw a stick for a coyote. And then mumble, you saying something over there?
Like, geez. What was with taking off for a friggin' book?
It's important to me. But now it's gone, so I guess that was all for fucking nothing.
I got your dumb book.
I'm just laughing because I knew the whole time that he had it.
Take it out of my jacket and throw it to her and be like, that's so important?
I will, annoyed, pick it up and dust it off and say, yeah, it is important.
Well, you're important too, you know. Maybe sometimes you should fucking think about that before you just start running off in, like, craziness.
I thought your brother was going to go mad.
I mean, maybe he did. What happened with this kid? You just let him die? That's where we're at now?
What kid? He's a fucking kid.
You know that kid's the only reason that I'm alive right now.
Come on.
He's the reason we got out.
Well, maybe you should have done a better job jumping off the 200-foot fucking cliff with a kid.
I mean, hindsight, it was actually Krieg that did it, but I'm not going to fucking argue about the morality of this kid's life. You just let a kid die.
Well, for all I know, he was dead when he hit the water.
Wait, is that what we did? Is he gone? Is this beyond repair?
Oh yeah, he did.
It was like a hours, I think.
Out of the middle of nowhere, totally passed out, Krieg just begins screaming, like night terror screaming. Ah! And then goes dead quiet. Mutters a couple words. Black Knight, Black Knight. And goes back dead quiet.
How was your time with him?
He's all right. Kind of weird.
Yeah, what's with crazy over here?
Wait, you fucking brought all your friends? Why not?
I don't know what happened, to be honest. We ended up in the warden's office. The kid was there. He brought me and Krieg back to consciousness. He let us out. He was like the warden's fucking prisoner or some stupid shit. I don't know.
You mean the warden's prisoner? Little kid. I don't get it.
I don't know. He looked like he had a tough life, and I just understand that.
Why would the warden have a fucking child prisoner?
Well, I guess it doesn't matter now.
Weird.
I'm not entirely sure if it was a prisoner or his son, as this foggy conversation is kind of coming back to me here.
I mean, even if he was his son, I'm pretty sure he was still his prisoner.
Yeah, that's the impression I got.
Hold on, it's a whole different story if it was the warden's fucking son. Like, you know, I could be in a little bit more trouble here than I originally thought.
I mean, what the fuck does it matter? He's dead now. Could be the king of the goddamn fucking Baldur's Gate, and doesn't mean shit now.
Oh my god, it was just a fucking kid.
Just look at you, like, what happened to you? I know we went through some shit. I know we didn't have an easy life. I know that prison was fucking shit, but when did we get to a point where we just let kids die?
Listen, I thought you and him needed help. The kid was fucking swimming. But, yeah, okay, maybe he didn't die when he hit the water. Shit, he said to me. I don't know, man. I just thought you guys needed my help more than he did.
We were just distracted. I mean, I wasn't even expecting you to have a kid with you.
You're looking out for me, I get it. But now it's on my consciousness. I'm alive and that kid's dead.
It was a 200-foot cliff, Quinn.
I didn't want to fucking jump, for the record. This fucking
You're
mad dwarven idiot over here. Just the kid told him to jump and he fucking did it. And then I seen them free falling. I seen you guys going over the cliff, and I thought, fuck it. If I'm gonna live, I'm gonna get caught anyway. So I'd rather die than live. And it turns out I lived and he died.
Sorry.
It's fine. I'm just worried about you. You've been different lately. Fucking more bitchy than ever. Are you okay?
Yeah, fine. I'll just walk away.
Sure, I believe you. I'll shut out. Asshole.
Bitch.
Dumbass. I'll go over to Krieg and try to fucking wave some, is there any food cooking or something? I don't know.
Yeah, Murray will eventually, take things off. He pretty much stays out. You can see he's watching the two of you the entire time, but doesn't say anything. Scratches at his old gray-haired chin a little bit. Eventually plucking some of these, whatever animal it is he has cooking. Not really sure, but smells edible enough. Tosses a few out to you guys. Tosses one on the ground in front of Coyote. Quickly starts munching on it.
I'm going to start walking down the riverbank looking for the fucking kid.
I'm going to wave some food in front of Krieg's nose and see if I can snap him to consciousness.
Does that wake me up?
Yeah.
Yeah, Krieg rouses. Oh, that smells like the best thing. Oh, so much better than that prison sludge. They don't give you no better food as a guard.
I don't doubt that.
Yeah, he'll sit up and accept the plate. Oh, what happened? Did we land here?
Your dumbass jumped off the cliff, and my dumbass followed after you.
Stuffing food. It seemed like a pretty good idea at the time.
Well, I can tell you it wasn't. The kid's dead.
Oh, well, that's unexpected. I thought
Yeah, who would have thought?
He did that blue magic stuff. I figured he'd have been just fine.
Turns out flight wasn't one of the abilities that the small kid had.
Probably should have asked him before I jumped. That might have been something.
Well, we live and we learn. I'll say it like...
I guess not all of us live.
Oh, you're alive. That's a grand one. Mithra.
Yeah, I was hoping you'd make it back so we could have a chat.
I am all ears. Well, actually, just the two.
So why are you carrying around my picture?
It was given to me. I was told you had to get out of the prison. Nobody escapes the Skrimshaw. But look at here we are.
Yeah, I mean, we made it out, most of us. And I'm gonna pull a bottle of alcohol out of my bag here, and I feel like we should all have a little drink for Camille, our fallen friend, and just kind of pass the bottle around to everyone.
Creek definitely accepts.
Let's see, where the fuck did you get that?
Oh, you know, I'm always packing something. It's not a very big bottle, but enough for everyone to at least have a couple sips.
Quinn will take one for Cavill, one for the dead kid Steven, and one for the nameless boy that she got murdered in the prison.
Yeah, it's the only thing I know about that picture. It came in from outside the prison. Someone else. They were looking for you. All I know is the address. I don't know who gave it. I don't know why it came to me.
Are they trying to hurt me? Is that why you got me out? Like,
Oh,
or are we friends?
I'm pretty sure friends. Unless maybe you were trying to kill me before? I don't know. But
I wasn't trying to kill you.
I don't know. I was told somehow that you know me or you have some connection to my past or my family.
You keep saying that, but I don't know you. I'm sorry. And I'm just
I don't know
really
either.
confused. I just sort of shrug, like maybe we both have a bit of amnesia.
Oh, I don't have amnesia. I just can't remember.
That's what amnesia is.
Oh, this
Okay,
is
don't worry
different.
about it.
This is different.
If he wanted to hurt you, I doubt he would have broke you out of the prison. We were as good as dead in there, so...
I mean, he seems pretty jolly. I'm fine if he tags along. What do you guys think?
I mean, I gotta get to Baldur's Gate anyways, so...
Yeah, Murray will look up when you say that. So what are you fellas heading to Baldur's Gate for? It's a shithole of a city. I mean, maybe a lot of you fit in nice, I suppose.
Well, I was fucking born and raised, so, you know.
There's some great pubs down by the wharf. We used to go into them every time our ship hit port.
Very nice. You ever been to the old Lantern, Krieg? You know, that's bar out there that floats in the water. It used to be an old ship. It got the lantern hanging from the front.
Oh, aye.
That's a great fucking pub. I've had some blackout nights there, I can tell you.
Me too. I spent many a nights there. Sometimes just had to get away from the old lady, you know. Just get out and have a few drinks.
Tell you what, if we get back to Baldur's Gate, the first round's on me at the old Lantern.
Oh, that sounds excellent. I don't think I have a job on that ship anymore. It's been about 5 or 6 years.
See Murray pokes at the fire and stick a few. Don't feel bad, Krieg. Don't think I got a job either. So, you know, I was thinking about going back to Waterdeep. Says, nah, man's got to face his fears, right? Stand up to the things that bit him in the ass once. Says, yeah. Maybe I'll walk with you guys down to the old Baldur's Gate. See how things are going.
Aye, you should. There's nothing to be afraid of.
Says, no. Not afraid, just... Well, it doesn't matter anyway. Just go back to poking at the fire. You can see this sort of remorseful look on his face.
Well, you guys don't have a job. I'm a university dropout. We're all criminals. I'm sure we'll fucking fit in good at Baldur's Gate.
How is it that you three ended up in prison?
That Murray will look up as well, just sort of looking at the three of you.
Shrug my shoulders. It's a long, boring story.
I've gone for quite a walk down the river's bank. Now I might not be anywhere near shot.
So I guess he looks at the two of you. Yeah, as you go down the river in Malachi, you can see here and there a couple pieces of the kid's silken clothes and vest, but there is no sign of them anywhere. As you walk down through, even whether you're looking for him or not, which I mean, imagine you kind of at least glance around or whatever, but you don't come across them.
I'll go for like 3-4 hours. You know, like I'll really take the hike and make an effort. I hate her, but I love her.
So you can see Malachi's gone for quite a while. During that, Murray will look up and says, well, God all night, Quinn, why don't you tell us a story? Maybe Mithra. Be curious to know what two folk like you did to get in that hellhole.
Listen, I'm not much of a storyteller. If I was to summarize it, borrowed a little bit too much money from the wrong people, and, well, that gets you in trouble in Baldur's Gate.
Says, yep.
Now, Coyote, on the other hand, this motherfucker loves to talk, so why don't you ask him?
So you'll look over. Coyote is fast asleep. A couple bones around him. One of the bones still sticking out of the corner of his mouth. The small yips coming out between his snores.
Figures.
Says, yeah. I always thought that fellow was a little strange. How the hell did you come across him anyway?
I reckon in the janitorial maintenance.
Is it true what they said? What he said? He's got a pet snake down there?
Yeah, surprisingly. It's a big bastard, too. Frank, I think he calls it. It's actually a crocodile, though.
That figures. He's always bragging about his big snake. You know, we weren't quite sure if it was just a metaphor or if he really did have a snake. I didn't know which way to believe. But hey, crocodile it is, I guess.
Yeah. What about you, Mithra?
Well, I mean, I feel like at this point, you guys, so I'm kind of thinking to myself, I don't really know how to explain how I'm so well rested. Maybe you guys should all lay down. I'm actually feeling pretty good right now. So I could keep watch if you guys want to take a little rest. I mean, if you want to stay up, I don't mind telling a little story. I do want to tell the group about what happened. I don't want to share everything, though. So, I mean, yeah, maybe you guys should all lay down, and it might be time for everyone to take a long rest, and I'll kind of like give them like a gist of sort of basically tell them about Leo, him saving me. Not really going to mention our contract, though. So it probably seems a little sketchy to them that, I mean, he saved me for apparently no reason. So can I see how how much of my story they're going to believe without asking too many questions.
Do you mention his name?
Yes.
So, then, yeah, it's kind of up to you. What do you tell him?
Just, I mean, I'm kind of as lost. I don't really know what happened. I guess just he found me and kind of saved my life. I'm not really sure why. I probably would have drowned and died, though, if he hadn't found me. Seemed really weird that he said he was just fishing. Kind of seemed like he was waiting for me, but I mean, I don't know. That's all I know. But now I feel awesome.
Sounds like a fine fellow. It's a shame he didn't stick around for some of this whatever kind of rat or gopher we had.
I asked him to come along, but he said he didn't want to, so I was going to offer him a drink too.
Yeah, for the record, Krieg believes all of it.
I'm gonna like sit around the fire for a wait moment and let her like tell her story. Just kind of looking at it, not really making eye contact with anyone, and then I'm gonna wait for her to like finish telling her story. And
I'm kind of just staring into the fire too. I'm not really trying to look anyone in the eye as I'm talking. Just kind of, I don't know. Just, I'm very confused. I mean, that part of it should seem real, because in reality, I'm really just like kind of, I mean, it's been a weird day. And there's Mad Krieg over here with my photo and some other guy fishing, just hanging out. I mean, I definitely am very confused at this point. Although Mad Krieg is all right. He seems okay.
Do you mention anything about your side of the contract or what you're supposed to do or anything about the kid?
No, I'm really just not mentioning. I'll actually, you know what? I'll bring up the fact that he mentioned the kid. So, and I'm gonna look at Quinn and just kind of be like, I mean, where did this kid come from?
I'm not gonna say much to you until you're like done telling the story and everything's all kind of said and done.
Yeah, after you get done doing that,
and then once it's like quiet, I'm gonna say like, "Hey, Mithra, I need to go to the washroom. You want to come with me? That's what we do, right? We go in pairs."
I mean, usually when we're outside, I'd say no, but sure. And I'm just going to follow along.
I've never been much for the lady, like, I don't know. I was just want some company, okay?
That's fine. I mean, you're looking a little tired, so it's cool. I'll make sure there's nothing hiding in the trees.
Hey, thanks. You're a good friend. And then once we're like pulled aside, I'm going to be like, look behind her back, make sure no one's followed us, and be like, all right, what deal did you make with him? Cut the shit.
Yeah, I figured you weren't gonna believe that. And I'm just gonna tell Quinn. I mean, I don't really have anything to lose. I'm kind of already put myself in a weird position. And I'm gonna kind of like look at the ground like sheepishly, like I was gonna die. I mean, I don't really feel great about this, but I don't really feel that guilty either.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at her while she's talking and like grab her by the shoulders and turn her around and just kind of pull out the back of her shirt and look on her back and see if she has any markings on her back.
There is a scrawled contract there.
And then I'm just gonna ask for like verbatim what the contract was, or you can just too lazy didn't read it to me, or Morgan. It's just the summary of it again.
Well, you can't read. I guess it's up to her because if you try to read it, you can't. Even it looks like it's written in perhaps like abyssal or demonic or something. But every time you try to maybe pick out a few words, it constantly shifts and changes. So I guess it would be just Mithra tell Quinn what the contract basically is.
Yeah, I think she said she did. Okay, I was just like, what's the summary of it?
And yeah, in that case, it would be that Mithra would be basically revived and saved from her death, assuming that she kills Warden Bartel, and as an extension of the contract, though not falling under the main formal contract itself, returns young Stephen to Leo.
But I'm going to clarify. I never actually... Look, I didn't want the kid to die, but I told him straight up, I do some shady shit, but I don't deal with kids.
Yeah, I understand. I guess maybe it's good he's not fully getting his way. I hope you realize the situation you fully got yourself into, and I'll kind of grab her hand and motion to the contract that's now scarred on her back. He has a way of showing up at the perfect time when you need him and can't say no. And then when she's feeling her contract on her back, I'll pull my shirt back a bit and show her my back, and I also have a contract written on it.
Fuck. Now I'm just starting to get like a... Now that I'm like really realizing this whole, you know, not drowning anymore, I'm kind of realizing that I might be fucked here.
I mean, killing the warden doesn't sound like a bad thing, but I'm not fucking going back to the prison, so I don't know how we're going to manage that.
I think there might be more strings attached to this than I realized.
Of course,
I didn't have a lot of options.
I understand. I don't blame you. I made a similar shitty deal. I got to kill somebody too.
By the way, I'm glad you got your book back. I know your brother doesn't get it, but that would have been really crappy if you lost it.
Yeah, it means a lot to me.
I get it. My spell book would never leave my side.
Yeah, it was stupid of me to, I didn't know what else to do in prison, you know? Didn't want
Try
somebody
not
else to get it.
to try not to lose it again, eh? And I'm just gonna kind of laugh a bit.
Yeah, I'll keep it close. We should go back before they start saying weird shit. Is there any reason why you didn't tell them the truth?
I was planning on it eventually. I just thought maybe now isn't the best time.
That's fair. I haven't told my brother yet either. He's gonna be pissed.
Yeah, let's maybe wait and see how we feel about the dwarf, and let's let your brother cool off. He was really heated today. He was really pissed at you.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. I put us all in danger. I'm sorry. At the end of the day, it was just a book, but to me, it's more than just my spell book. So I'm sorry for putting you all in danger. Well, I guess I'll have to tell everybody else too, but I appreciate everyone taking that chance for me.
You are welcome. I'm gonna start walking back because I definitely don't want anyone trying to follow or overhear this conversation right now.
And then if Malachi ever does come back, I'll kind of make like a formal speech to the group apologizing for my actions and thanking everybody for helping me get my stuff back.
As you're headed back, Malachi, it's been, quite a couple hours probably poking around and stuff. You don't really come up with much, a few pieces of the kids' clothing and whatnot, but absolutely no sign of them otherwise. But then you reach that far point where you start to turn around and start walking back, maybe on the opposite side of the riverbank and making your way. You can glance over your shoulder at the top of one of these knolls or one of these hills. When you get to it, in the distance, you can still see this orange glow in the distance. You hadn't noticed it before, being part of the daylight when you guys first emerged, and then being sort of in the valley where everybody else is resting. But at the top of this hill, as you look out, you get the sense you know where Baldur's Gate is, and you've probably traveled a bit, so you kind of have a rough idea of where you are, being north of Baldur's Gate. And following the coastline down, this orange glow doesn't come from Baldur's Gate. Give me a history check, Malachi.
Damn it. Where's the fucking... There it is. 14 on the dice, and you said wisdom check?
History.
History. Bam. So yeah, that's 17.
Oh, nice. In that case, as you're looking towards Baldur's Gate, and that orange glow that's sort of a little bit more off to the west, you glance towards, or I guess it would actually be the east. But you look over, and this definitely seems to be like, you get the sense like of what an entire city in flames would be. That orangish glow that radiates from the fire and kind of reflects off the sky and stuff. And that's what it reminds you of. You know where Baldur's Gate is, east of Baldur's Gate, east. Think about it. There is a city east of Baldur's Gate called El Terrell. It's quite a holy city, founded by priests and paladins of Torn. And that seems to be where this deep crimson red glow radiates from. It's probably a good 3-4 hours travel from where you're at. Same with Baldur's Gate itself. You're sort of in the pinpoint between the two. They've been there a few times, all with those uppity, goody two-shoe paladins and priests and everybody else walking around. They high and mighty tend to be rather pragmatic and judgmental, not really people of your choice. But yeah, it just looks like that entire city is engulfed in flames. You can't see the city, but you can see the orange glow off the sky.
Is it flickering like fire would be?
Kind of gives you that. You can't really see the flickering, but that's what it gives you the sense, yes.
All right, as I make my way back, and tell everyone, we're not far. Maybe we should stop at El Terrell. It's possibly on fire. I don't know, but there might be some items we could use in Baldur's Gate if we stop there. It is that fucking holy town. You never know.
They on fire?
Yeah, it looks like on fire or something, man. It's crazy.
Those pious pricks have so much gold laying around in there.
Hey, there we go. Now we're talking.
Do I know much about El Terrell? I know this is the second time I've heard the city, but I don't know how much Mithra would know of it herself.
You can give me a history check.
Pretty studied, but apparently my dice roller app makes me not so 10 on one of my best skills.
So yeah, you know that it is quite a holy city east of Baldur's Gate. Not really, it's on the river, but it's not much of a port city. Baldur's Gate kind of holds most of that monopoly, but again, mostly made up of paladins and priests of Torm, a couple other knightly.
Torm is the god of what, sorry, do you know?
Yeah, he's a lawful god, I believe, of like war and nobility. I forget the exact profile.
I'm going to say to Malachi, maybe the first place we run to after breaking out of a prison isn't a holy town of paladins. And I don't know, though. You're right. We are stuck on supplies. How far out is Baldur's Gate? Does anyone know? Apparently, I'm not very good at geography.
Yeah, he's known as the Hand of Righteousness. His portfolio is duty, loyalty, and obedience, lawful good.
Obedience. People who follow orders blindly? That's like embracing tyranny. Fools.
How far is Baldur's Gate opposed to El Terrell?
They're about 3 hours apart. From where you guys are at, you figure it's probably about 3 to 4 hours to either one from where you're at as well. You're sort of north of it, pinpointed in between them.
Oh, so it's not in between, yeah. I'll probably say, like, maybe we save the pious paladin town of nobility and justice until the heat is kind of laid low a bit. I think we'll fit in a little better at Baldur's Gate.
All right. Sounds good. Time to go home.
Murray will be watching all of this. Bit of interest, but doesn't say anything, just goes back to poking at the fire. Well, suppose we should get a bit of rest. You're looking awful spry, Quinn. Why don't you take first watch? Or, I'm sorry, Mithra. Why don't you take first watch? Well, maybe Coyote will feel good after he wakes up. He can finish out the night. Everybody else looks like shit.
Just saying that Coyote probably shouldn't be on duty by himself.
You're muted, Mithra. You're muted, Mithra.
Sorry. Fuck, I hate that. No, I'm wide awake, and I even have not many. It's almost like crumbs. It's like almost gone, but I had this like bag of coffee beans, so I got like a couple left. So I'm figuring out how to like boil some water here and perch myself up in a tree and just kind of hang out for the night. So you guys are good. Have a rest. Don't worry, I'll be keeping my eye out.
Real man. Well, why don't you wake me up in a few hours, Mithra? I'm not as young as I used to be, but my eyesight's still there. I can at least watch, and me and Coyote, I think we can handle the second half. Just wake us up in a few hours. And with that, he'll wrap this heavy coat around him and kind of curl up behind the log next to the fire. Fast asleep in a few moments. can hear the snores and then followed by the yips of Coyote and soft breathing of Murray in a few moments. Everybody else going to get some rest.
Krieg pulls this kind of beat up, broken, old, bloodstained doll, rips it out from where it's tucked into his belt, and kind of curls up holding it, and passes the fuck out.
Malachi is still like super nervous about being this close to the jail and just like having a fire and passing out. But trust Mithra, so he'll lay down. Close his eyes.
Did we not move like down the coastline a bit, or did we just camp out right above it?
Yeah,
maybe
maybe
a
we
little
should-
bit, but not very far.
Yeah, should we like move away from the fire a bit? Or I'm gonna like climb up in a tree so I A, have a vantage point, and B, I'm an elf, so I'm assuming I hang out in trees a lot.
Yeah, bounce around. You can keep watch. It seems like Murray at least set you up in a nice area that's, your bonfire isn't a pinpoint in the darkness sort of thing. He's smarter than that. All right. With that, Mithra, why don't you give me a perception roll?
Come on, nat 20. Well, natural 19 plus probably enough, so I'm sure I've got pretty good handle on things right now.
Nice. And yeah, your watch pretty much goes through without a single problem. You can feel your eyelids getting a little bit heavy. And reaching that point where it's about time to wake up Murray and Coyote. The two of them will get up, let you go finish off a bit of your own rest so you can refresh yourself for the morning. And yeah, you guys are able to put in a long rest so you can refresh everything, get all back up to speed. You'll wake up in the morning to the sound of birds singing, the splashing of otters in the river, and ducks quacking in the distance, just like a perfect summer morning. If the house up above on the cliffside wasn't engulfed in flames and you could see bodies raining down from the cliffside, but we will leave it there for the evening.
Ooh.
Seems